Check.
Just so you know, I haven't watched Monday Night Raw SmackDown since.
Not many people have.
So I'll do the best I can.
Nick, mic check.
Yep, mic check.
Sweet. Z.
Check.
Joe.
Check.
Yo, you there?
Gotcha.
I'm here.
Kyle.
Good.
Check 1, 2.
Devin.
Check.
Gotcha. All right.
Hey, did you guys get to try any of those? That was left from when we were here yesterday. Holy shit! This chick had Hennessy popcorn and red berry Ciroc. Yeah, red berry Ciroc popcorn, and holy god, it fucking was awesome.
No, they were just the cards.
Dude, it tasted like regular caramel corn, and the,
All right, guys.
red berry shit was like crunch berry.
Ready?
Yep.
Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Money in the Bank is on the horizon. Raw and SmackDown Live did a pretty decent job with their go-home shows. And then, out of nowhere, AEW took the wrestling world by storm. We'll get into that, and we promise not to be as biased and bigoted as one Lars Sullivan as we're discussing everything in the wrestling world this week. And we do all that and more with the boys from the Knockouts and 3 Counts podcast this week as we...
Are you ready? No! I said, are you ready? You just made the list! Oh, I knew he was gonna do that. I just knew he was gonna do that. He don't need Janetti. You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. If it's a man, what the rock is cooking. Bulletproof for life, good bout, and good night. They ain't got the answers. I change the questions.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Nick.
Z.
Whole effing Joe.
And me, the almighty one, Mikey himself. And in studio today, from the Knockouts and 3 Counts podcast, who will be co-hosting our event at the Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit to watch Money in the Bank this Sunday, the boys from Knockouts and 3 Counts, Kyle and Devin.
So much energy, man. I like this, man.
I like it. What up,
I
though?
like it.
That's how you got to get this shit kicked off right. Because if it's not kicked off right, man, like, look, like if she
I'm not
starts,
gonna lie, guy. I'm liking the intro and everything.
if
Hot
she
damn,
starts
clear
going
the
down
intro
on you
song.
and it's really bad head, look, man, there has to be energy for you to even want to keep going, right? So really, my lip service is exactly like what you would want from anybody who you're starting any type of thing with.
Is that why there's makeup over there to kind of get us?
I got a contour right here to make me look thinner.
Should we tell them about
Working on my smoky eye.
Yeah, so was the waitress.
that's all
They
you've
couldn't
been
get
doing
our
is
shots right. Dude, we literally went to the bar down the street and she fucked up our shots twice. We got free shots and she fucked it up.
How do you fuck up shots?
She smelled it like so. He got a shot of
She couldn't tell
Jameson.
the
I got a
difference
shot of
between
Honey
Honey Jack
Jack.
and Jameson.
And the worst part is she sniffed them both times and she fucked them up twice.
How can you not tell the difference between Jameson and Honey Jack?
Wait, I'm confused. So she gave one of you the wrong. She gave one of you. Honey
She
and
gave
the-
us, she gave me the Jameson and he had the Honey Jack the first time, so she gave us free shots, and then she fucked it up the second time too.
Well, okay, so what
hold
I
on,
don't get is why didn't you guys just go?
We did
here?
switch it the second time. the second
even
time
the
we
first
did.
time, like
Oh, the first time I just thought she had
Well,
the right
she
shot.
sniffed
Yeah.
it and then put it down, so we thought it was
I'm
all
like,
good, and then I
the
drank
minute
it.
you sniff is the minute I go. Well, you don't trust your fucking self.
Also, they look different in the shot glass.
Yeah, Honey Jack is a little bit lighter,
It is. It is.
and yeah,
Sounds like you need to work at a bar, sir.
you know,
I might have seen you at one a time or two.
I think I do. So look, man, there is a fuck ton of shit going on in the wrestling world. Obviously, the huge news. It is Wednesday here for us when we are recording this, or anyone who is watching live. What the fuck's up, Periscope and Twitter? The big news today was AEW announced that they now will be on TNT.
Yes, sir.
The thing about this is nothing other than that has come out. Like they've gone Tuesday Night Dynamite is a something that they have talked about, so on and so forth, and it's like something they've copyrighted. So all smart ideas point at AEW be on Tuesday, WWE be on Monday and Friday.
Right.
And that just seems like how it's going to go. But this came out, and look, man, I'm not saying that they threw shade, okay? But I'm saying they threw fucking shade.
I'm intrigued.
So let's go into so they come out with a mission statement. First off, there's the press release. And it says, later this year, Warner Media will provide exclusive multi-platform access for fans to watch AEW events, airing live weekly matches on TNT in prime time, as well as streaming them through Warner Media's Bleacher Report Live and on pay-per-view. A leading digital sports enterprise, Bleacher Report Live's high fan engagement will provide an invaluable opportunity to build AEW's audience. And then they come out with their mission statement, which I had it. Here it is. Focused on producing fast-paced, high-impact competitions, AEW offers fans less scripted, soapy drama and more athleticism and real sports analytics, bringing a legitimacy to wrestling that has not previously had. Wrestlers will also be given more freedom to explore their character and highlight their athletic abilities. Introducing statistics to wrestling for the first time ever, AEW will raise the stakes for its matches and deepen fan engagement by tracking each competitor's wins and losses as the wrestlers pursue championships, analyzing their moves, assessing damage to their opponents, and providing insights into their winning streaks. That is a completely different take on pro wrestling than anybody has ever done. And granted, I understand that they have the Khan family behind them, and the Khan family, that's what they do. There's football, there's football American, and then there's football European. They own a team in each. Jacksonville Jaguars and whoever the fuck else they are. I don't know that fucking team's name.
I don't think any of us do.
But you got to think. So they obviously in depth with the figuring out of statistics and analytics. The problem with that is when you bring it into the professional wrestling side, wins and losses are not determined by your skill. Wins and losses are determined by what the booker in the back says. So when you're telling me you're analyzing moves and assessing damage to their opponents, my first fucking thought about this is, what? Like, why? Z, you have this really confused look on your face. Are you just as confused as me as how this is? I mean, there's two sides to this.
For starters, I'm high.
I want to get high.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the fact that how do you really portray a realistic stat attribute when you're predetermined winners? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless they're just doing like
A world of sport
all right,
type
guys,
thing.
go call it in the match. You guys decide who wins.
Oh my God, fuck that.
I'm just saying. Then you could really keep stats.
Nah, they couldn't do that because then how would you keep up a storyline if they got to pick who won?
Yeah, but the two performers in the ring get to decide.
They're not gonna-
get to decide.
They're not going to do that.
I understand that, but I'm saying that is the only real way where stats would matter is if somebody in the back wasn't predetermining it. The guys were figuring it out in the ring.
So here's my thing with the whole thing. I feel like this is kind of just like throwing shit at the wall and trying to make shit as different as they can right now to see what sticks. But on the other hand, I've said this for years, and I say this all the time on our show. Like, I truly believe that wins and losses need to be made to mean more, even though we all know that the outcomes are predetermined. But when it gets to a point when you got guys where they're losing every fucking week and you flip flop whether they're going to win or lose, like it takes all credibility from people. So if you're already like laying it out there off rip that you think that you're going to make wins and losses matter, I think that's a good step. I don't know about the stats thing. I think that's a little weird, but making wins and losses matter, I'm all for that.
I'm totally down for a presentation where, you see on TV and they point up that Cody is, 4-2. The Young Bucks in the tag division are 3-1. But and it's like a rankings. There's similar like what you see on a UFC. Like they show a rankings bout. Here's number one. He's things like that. And I'm fine with wins and losses mattering like that. But when you're telling me that you're trying to bring in statistics and analyzing moves and assessing damage to the point where you're trying to make it like, and I'm all right with a more sports to the entertainment aspect.
That almost sounds like more like a video game aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Because the video game, you actually need a skill to fucking win those.
But
if-
like
if-
damage assessment per moves and stuff
Yeah.
like that,
But if they run the program, like they do in New Japan, where it takes 7 one-wing angels to defeat an opponent, does that mean its damage strike
Oh
is
my God, please don't
nothing
get me.
more than a regular move if we're going video game-esque?
Please don't get me started on that, because all I could think when I was at G1 Supercard is, holy shit, how many Rainmakers is he going to hit this motherfucker with?
He was there. Sorry.
Guess what, bitch? The bell is going to ring plenty
Well,
for
you
you.
put
in
the
a
bell
minute.
off of me, but you the first one to drop it.
Hey,
You were somewhere.
It just went with it, but yours is coming, motherfucker. And please know, my hand
At
is
least
ready.
wait till Smitty gets here to ring the bell, so then he can drink with you.
But honestly, I don't see what the confusion is. You control whatever the fuck you putting out there in the ring. You can make all the stats you want to.
But then, okay, so if you're trying to bring the realism into it, right? If you're trying to suspend the disbelief, but that's like, okay, you want to tell me that you were doing this in late 80s, early 90s? All right, I get it. There's still the whole realism to it. There's some people going, oh, it's fake, and then there's other people going, nah, it's not fake. It's real. And it was much better performances. But we know, like, the audience, especially the audience they're catering to. Let's not. Because, look, WWE is your PG product. They're your ones that are going to your casual fans. Your casual fans mostly are children. And those children are watching and believing every time someone wins. I don't tell my daughter that AJ Styles only won because in the back someone said, and we're scripting you to win.
Right.
She's like, yes, AJ won, or damn it, AJ lost. And I'm like, stop saying damn it.
But you used it in the right context.
Right, correct. I'm really proud of you. You're learning so well. Shut the fuck up with that. But so for the casual fan, these wins and losses meters, and I'm all right with, like, you can't bury somebody, right? I agree with you wholeheartedly, Kyle. If you're gonna go the Bray Wyatt route and make somebody lose 300 fucking times over their career since they've been called up, and then all of a sudden say, oh, and now you're in the WWE Championship match. I agree, 100%. That is, it doesn't make any sense.
If you do it that way, all right, so Bray Wyatt, let's say he had 100 losses his first 3 years in the business, and now all of a sudden we're going to give you a push. Now, how many matches in a row does he need to win, in your personal opinion, in order to look like a legitimate championship contender?
Okay, so the way they're bringing it out is it's sounding like there's going to be a fucking ranking system on television.
Yeah, like a power ranking.
Yeah, and then there's, okay, so Bray won 2 matches, so now his record just went, so he's like moving up the ladder
89th or whatever.
Yeah, he's moving up the ladder.
Kind of like the video game.
Yeah, literally just like the video games.
I think the easy
Joe's
way
saying.
that they could do that to where, like, it doesn't convolute things too much is, like, again, like you mentioned with the UFC, like, yeah, you've got a ranking system, but say, like, okay, even use Bray Wyatt since that's the person we're using right now. Say he loses a bunch of matches, but then you decide you want to push him, so you have him beat, I don't know, just pick somebody who's up there.
Yeah,
Seth or
one
whoever
of
you
your
want.
top 5
Some
guys.
top guy or a top 5 guy or whatever. That's going to jump him up the rankings quick versus, 5 wins against whoever.
But the thing where I'm I understand what they're trying to do, but the audience you're catering to, the point I was trying to make earlier, is these are the smarks. These are the ones that know majority of shit that's going on backstage behind the scenes, you know, to the point where when you're looking at it, you're going, I mean, all right, so I get it. They just want to push this dude. So that's why he's jumping up these rankings. It's not like when you go to watch a UFC, you're going, man, I hope this person wins because I would love to see them take a shot at the title. And there's still good guys and bad guys, but it makes a lot less sense with the good guys and bad guys now, because there's that. But you're watching it going, okay, they want to push this guy. I'm not. Would you buy the rank? Are you going to buy these rankings knowing they're just going to push this person anyway?
But
let's go to Nick.
Okay. Well, I think it just plays more into the storyline aspect of it. I mean, they're going to sit there and tell you, oh well, less story and drama, but well. Kind of not, though, because you're going to throw these rankings out there that's going to be part of the story that you're creating for these people. So while the casual fan, has one opinion, that could be trying to cater to a lot of these newer fans that they're trying to draw over there that are sports fans, football, baseball, whatever. They can relate to that. So that's something that, whether or not they give a shit if it's predetermined, they'll still have something to look at, some kind of, I don't want to say tangible, but it's there.
Right.
Perfect example. Like, even though I don't think they should have made the playoffs, Detroit Pistons were fighting to get into the playoffs this year. So they were in the number 9 spot trying to get to that number 8 spot. So you're going to have, let's say they decide to have a tournament for the number 1 contendership for the AEW championship, and you got to make it to the playoffs to get that last spot. So whoever the number 9 and the number 8 guys are sitting there battling back and forth, trying to, get more pinfall victories or just trying to score more points, or however the scoring system is going to be set up. It automatically sets up drama that way. So then you got the number 8 versus number 1, and now you got, can the number 8 upset the number 1 guy? It's built in there. The drama and the storyline is built into the ranking system itself. So I like it. I think it's something completely different. It's something that, hey, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to watch it regardless because you love these wrestlers anyway. And if you're a casual fan, you're going to be like, well, I don't know how they determine who wins and who loses and who gets a championship match. Well, now you know. It's right there in front of you. So I think it brings in both sides, the casual and your smart fans.
All right. Okay.
All I was going to say is, do you think, like you said, Z, we all know that it's like predetermined, and like, especially since you're catering to smarks for the majority. I mean, I totally get your point, Mikey, but at the same time, do you think that since it's been so long since we've really seen wins and losses actually mean something to where a company itself is like, okay, old boy is 5-2 or whatever the records are. I think that it could be a breath of fresh air, just in that it's been so long since you've seen wrestling really played out with any sort of, I don't want to use the word legitimacy, but like as far as the wins and losses, to where really like, damn, this guy lost.
But by adding wins and losses, you essentially make it so every single match matters.
It should, though.
Yeah, I know, I know it should, but I mean, with WWE, you get the entertainment factor more, where okay, we're going to put on a show, whereas if you're just doing it based on athletic ability and they get a little more freedom with their character and whatnot, doing a ranking system, I mean, it matters. Like, whoever wins or loses this match in every single match matters, whether they move up the ladder or down the ladder.
Plus, it just makes them further different from WWE, which I think is their goal.
And one thing,
but if it works, WWE will just steal it and make it better. That's what Vince does.
But I think another thing too is it kind of eliminates 50-50 booking. It's like, oh well, you won, now I win this time. No, there are going to be people that are going to be top ranked, and they're going to be people that are kind of at the bottom. And it's not just going to be we're trading victories back and forth until whatever the payoff is. No, winning matters at this point. So if they're going to have a top guy, you're going to know that's a top guy because they continuously win and they put up great matches and they're going to be ranked high. And you're going to see you're going to see the pecking order of these guys. But the good thing is you have a pencil with an eraser at the end of it. You can change it up at any time. So a guy that's bottom ranked, if you want to push him in the next 2 months, hey, have him go on a win streak and work his way up the ladder, man.
Joe, you've been kind of quiet on this, other than the video game comment.
I'm kind of with Kyle on this. I don't know much about the stat keeping thing, but as far as like a ranking system based on a sports-based presentation. I mean, New Japan already kind of does similar thing to that. I mean, like, they have a lot of different tournaments, whether it be like Super Juniors or Tag or G1 or whatever. Yeah. And if a non-title holder happens to pin a title holder or something in one of those matches, you know, they're probably going to get a title shot. Or if, you know, in one of these undercard 6-man tags or something where a title holder might get pinned during the match, the guy who pinned him might get a title shot. And otherwise, title shots are, you know, these guys are, I wouldn't say they're counting like stats, but for guys to work their way up to the card, I mean, they got to stack up some wins, you know, and they got to beat some reputable people to earn their title shots. So it's not just like people getting shots out of the blue, you know, and it's not 50-50 booking.
My bad.
I got dinged.
Yeah, I think but that was a great point.
So yeah, that's where I'm kind of at with it. I don't know how they would specifically keep stats, but I can see, you know, title shots and things of that nature being awarded based on merit. You know, you win more, you get more opportunities. You pin a champ in a non-title match, well, maybe you get a shot at the title, something of that nature. Right. You know.
Tony Khan said, obviously Tony Khan is the president and CEO of AEW. He says, wrestling fans have wanted and needed something different, authentic, and better for far too long. AEW is answering the call. AEW is all about more than wrestling. It's about a movement fueled by wrestling fans who have been undeserved and perhaps even disappointed by what the industry has produced in recent years. AEW is poised globally to redefine wrestling as we know it today. And as much as there's, on my end, as much as I'm going, well, you know, what about this? This is something that is exciting me. You know, when AEW was first announced on this show, I was its biggest critic right away. And I said, look, if this is all going off of the way, you know, because we know who's writing this.
You know how they're announced for TNT or whatever, though? I keep seeing TNT drama. is that like a different sub-channel or something?
No, that's their like tagline.
Yeah,
okay.
we know drama.
I was wondering about that. I'm sorry about that.
And someone probably had the TNT Twitter handle.
Go on, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a good question, man. I was wondering the same thing.
So yeah, but like at TNT drama it's just TNT.
So it's just a regular TNT channel. Okay.
Yeah, and their tagline is "We know drama." Who cares? But they know it. They know it. If you need it, they'll know it.
I'm glad they know it.
If you have a question about drama, go to TNT.
Right.
They know feel a lot better.
My life is better now knowing that TNT knows drama.
Yeah, they know it and they knew it too.
Ooh. So I have been AEW's biggest critic, and stating from the booking of All In, because no matter what, the booking of All In is all we have to go on. That's when Cody and the Bucks wrote a show. And Cody and the Bucks wrote a show where it put them and their friends over.
Right.
All. Not a single person lost. Minus
Marty lost.
Who's not in fucking AEW.
Not yet. He will be.
Just wait.
Soon.
So the bottom line is, the way that was working, I was like, I'm worried. And then Jim Ross came out and cut a interview on Busted Open in the beginning of...
I wish I had Sirius. I wish I could have heard that.
I think they actually have it on their YouTube, so you could totally see it.
I was thinking the same thing because that show's been good. What I've heard of it.
So Jim Ross came out and said that he's a senior advisor. Yeah, he's going in the back and he's talking with them about things. He's going to help booking decisions, so on and so forth. And it put a lot more confidence in me because even JR, who is kind of an old school minded wrestling guy, when you bring that with the new school, this way there is a good mix of everything.
He's still hip with the new school,
right.
though. He's not out of touch or anything.
Right, but he's a guy that thinks heels and faces matter.
They do.
But if you're going on a stat system, all of a sudden heel and faces don't matter anymore.
They still do.
To an extent, but not as much as it's going to make
New Japan. They're a lot more sports based, but they still have heels and faces.
But AEW is not going to be anything like anything else. If you're going on stats, wins and losses matter more than heel and face. So those top two guys, while
there's stories to be told with how you obtain those wins and losses.
I understand that, but
which can determine faces and heels.
If you are basing it off of all of these rankings and statistics and things like that, it no longer matters. The main objective of this company is not to build somebody that the people cheer to get behind. It's to build somebody that the stats will say, you can't deny this guy deserves this. You can hate him or love him, but it doesn't matter. He deserves to be in the spot. So you're no longer building like it's like Hogan in the when he was running the company.
We don't know that yet. I'm sure if someone's over, they're going to let him be over.
You know,
they're going to push a guy.
A perfect example. Let's say what's my guy MJF.
Maxwell Jacob
MJF.
Yeah, MJF.
I was trying to remember what they stood for. But let's say he wins the championship, right? Mm-hmm. You ever listen to that guy in an interview?
He's a fucking dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People are not going to like him. So
No.
if you put that championship on him and he has all the stats to back it up, he's only going to be a bigger dick than he already is.
Which
I understand
which
that.
is genius.
Right.
He's your heel.
And then what I'm saying is while this guy is built as a bad guy going up the rankings, it's not built. He's not going up the rankings just because he's a bad guy. So that's what I'm saying is like the face and heel don't matter as much as it does any other time.
Well, and
because
face-
hold on, let me get my point out. Okay. So Hulk Hogan, when he ran the company, with all those title runs, is because the people wanted to see him beat the heels, right? That was the reason Hogan was up there. People loved Hogan, and they wanted to see him beat everyone that he took on because WWE was all about building good characters. Right. This is not going to be mainly character based. I'm not saying it won't have a 50-50 side to it where you got your stats, you got the way you're building everyone, and then of course you have the face. I think the face and heel thing will be the back end of it. We're building these guys on stats. You're gonna hate him if he gets up because this is how he talks. You're gonna love him if he gets up there because this is how he talks or she talks or anything like that.
That legitimizes your heel, though. If he's high up in the rankings and he's still a loudmouth heel, it legitimizes him as a heel.
And I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying that the main way of what WWE did is not going to be the main way that they do it in AEW. And that's fine. And I'm not arguing that, but that's what I'm saying. You have the old school mindset of Jim Ross, who is faces and heels matter a lot, and AEW going, not so much. We're trying to make it off of wins and losses and stats and everything like that. That's why I think it'll be a good meld. I'm not arguing anything bad about that. I'm saying one is not going to mean as much as it used to for the traditional aspect of wrestling that we know. Yes, I know New Japan puts on a sports product right now. They have the interviews, everything like that. There are backstage segments and things like that. But the main product of AEW is not going to be the entertainment aspect. So therefore, you can't tell me if your main thing is going to be a sports presentation, then the heels and faces are just going to be by your feelings for the person up there. People fucking hated Lesnar in UFC and because of how he talked and things like that, but it was just how he is. That's Brock fucking Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a big fucking asshole, right?
But
who
that
does what he wants when he wants because he can. And I understand that. But it's not he wasn't pushed because of his attitude. He was pushed because of his name and what he was doing in UFC and MMA. And that's what I'm saying might be coming for AEW.
But his attitude was definitely a part of the reason why he got all those opportunities because
people wanted to see him get his ass whooped.
Right. Same thing with like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's a great boxer, right?
He's a great
But the main
heel,
reason
though.
why people bought those pay-per-views because they wanted to see him get knocked the fuck out because they hated him. So that's where I'm not saying. Yeah, the rankings is one thing, but you still have to get over as a character in order for people to want to even see you wrestle.
Agreed.
So
But the entertainment aspect of Floyd Mayweather and Brock Lesnar was the back end to their names and everything and how they built themselves up with their stats.
For me, like this ranking system is more of like it's just stat counting, but like the NBA, yeah, stats matter, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, we want to watch Kyrie play against his former team. We want to watch LeBron James. We want to watch the stories of sports and. That's where I think AEW is blending both the sports and the stats and the storylines to it too. So I don't see it as like one or the other. I see it as just two things coming together in a nice, perfectly made gumbo.
Plus, I mean, I didn't even think about this until the way you brought it up, Mikey. But another thing that I think by doing the booking that way with the ranking system could eliminate, and we won't know until they do it. So I mean, this is just all hypothetical. But like. I think that this could also eliminate, like you said, they're garnered towards the smarks. So I think by doing it this way, it also could eliminate, at least to some degree, some of like where like you've seen it before, where fans will just shit on a guy who's actually pretty damn good, but because they don't like him, he's to shit. But if the guy's got a good ranking, I mean, you can shit on what you want. The same on the flip side, like with what Z was talking about a heel. Okay, yeah, you could have a guy that's maybe ranked 10th, 12th. But if every time he gets in one of them high-ranking matches, he just does some dastardly bullshit to sneak a win out or whatever, however the hell you got to do it, that makes him hate it even more.
I think, like I said, I think it's a perfect blend between sports and sports entertainment.
It's the same way, like in MMA, how fans hate when a guy like WrestleFucks a guy. I mean,
wait. By Mikey's reaction, I'm not sure if you ever heard the term WrestleFuck.
The fuck is a WrestleFuck?
Please explain, Kyle. This is
what you would have thought it was.
This is one of my favorite terms of all time.
he thought it was a joke until I started having him go to fights with us. But yeah, WrestleFucking is just when you see a guy take a guy down and he's not hitting him at all. He's
just lays on top of him for 5
laying
rounds.
on the motherfucker and holding him so he can't go nowhere.
But he still wins because he's laying on top of the guy.
Exactly.
Because it was a takedown.
Yeah.
And you score points for takedowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
It's boring as shit, but yeah, he wins.
But he wins.
WrestleFuck.
And people thought I was joking when I said this shit.
But again, and I agree with you guys. I'm not trying to say that it's a bad thing that this is going to be a different way. And
Right.
I'm saying that I think with having JR and Cody in the Bucks, it is going to bring that perfect meld of the things that we have seen in sports. And I even more so, I'm excited for this. And then with the announcing of this and how the presentation that they want, now to me it makes even more sense as why they're doing that. You know, because we didn't know anything about this. So I guess my next question is, does anyone think it's going to be on a day that's not Tuesday?
No.
No.
SmackDown's moving to Friday, opens Tuesday up. People used to watching wrestling on Tuesdays. And I think SmackDown moves in October, right?
Yeah, on the,
And I think-
according to the Fox deal. As long as it goes through.
Wait, and I think AEW is going to come on TNT in October too, right?
Yeah.
So
right
people
around
are already
the same
conditioned to watch wrestling on Tuesdays. So yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
Did I read somewhere that in the Fox contract that they're not allowed to move WWE from the main station to FS1 no matter how bad the ratings are?
I do not. What? Nobody can hear shit from you.
I said I doubt Fox signed that shit. I'm just saying.
I have no idea. I really don't.
Swore I.
I mean, that's
read
good
that
for
somewhere.
WWE. If
Yeah,
it is.
obviously it is.
Bad for everybody else.
Well, now I want to know.
That's WWE's mantra.
Wait, so have they announced what's supposed to be on FS1?
No, they haven't announced anything.
I've heard NXT might go to FS1.
I've heard that too, but not,
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, there's obviously
nothing official.
There's a bunch of speculation.
At least it's not Pop TV, all right?
Thank God.
Wait, what channel are you on right now? 'Cause I don't think they're on Pop anymore.
They're not.
Yeah, they're
they're
not.
on.
They're
on
on
fucking
Twitch.
They're on
They're on
Twitch
Twitch
and they're
Pursuit.
on Pursuit.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't even
I know
have
what that
Pursuit.
channel is.
Neither
so-
do I. I've never even heard of it.
It's on Twitch. If you have internet, you have Impact. That's what they say. If you have an internet connection, you have Impact because you can watch Twitch.
And I still don't watch it.
Because he's like, I have it, don't want it.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I mean, they were good when I was watching it before they switched it.
Wait, Mike, can I ask you a question? Man?
Yeah.
So, you said when they first announced AEW, was it just the fact that All In went a way that you weren't really happy with it? Was that like the main skepticism, or was it something else that added to it too?
My skepticism was the boys running the booking, and that's what killed WCW.
Okay.
And I didn't want AEW to go the way of WCW that fast. And as it currently stands, it's looking like WWE might go the way of WCW. You know, taking the money and doing what the networks want rather than doing what's best for the product.
Imagine
you
it
know,
now.
Right.
15 years from now, Tony Khan comes out and goes, I bought WWE.
That'd be
Everything in wrestling replays itself 20 years later. It's just
and
how shit goes.
Vince just sitting back.
That'd be really funny, but I just can't see Vince going down, dude. I just
That
don't.
motherfucker will never die. He's gonna outlive.
I don't.
He's gonna outlive us all.
I feel like
What
if
you
it
don't
really
know is
got
he
that
already
close,
died, and this is just a Vince spot.
Right.
I feel like if it ever really got to the point where they actually thought that
It's like
AEW was gonna like
Dick
do
Van
something,
Dyke on New Year's Eve.
they'd fucking turn shit drastically, even if that meant getting them in trouble with networks or whatever. There's no way Vince would let his shit go down. The hole.
I think right now Vince is doing this shit on purpose just to see what AEW does instead of like building everything up and giving you everything you've ever wanted. And now AEW gets a TV deal and okay, we've already given you everything. Let's see what these guys do, and then we'll turn up the heat. Vince always takes ideas from other people and like puts his own spin on it.
Wait,
smart
so
business, though.
Vince is tanking his ratings on purpose to see what AEW does?
Okay, it sounds dumb, but with the promos he's been cutting about, oh, I'm a genius, and like how he's like a mad scientist right now, I wouldn't be surprised because I actually looked into it. The ratings are bad. The stock has gone down. But if you look at over the past 2 years, it's still at its highest point.
Yeah.
So really, he's not hurting for anything. He can kind of just hang out for
Money's never been a
8
problem
months
with Vince.
and
It's not a problem at
figure
all.
out, what they're gonna do, and then go from there.
I think Vince is too worried about the XFL right now. I think that's
Let him worry about that shit.
Yeah, that's we're
Get him-
kind
get him
of
as
If he
far
would
away.
focus more on that, that'd be fantastic.
Get him as far away from the wrestling product as possible.
Triple H has liked a couple tweets
I saw that.
against Vince. There was one stating that maybe the problem isn't the something. It's the pointless storylines that you make that just don't matter. That's why your ratings are hurting. Oh, and give your wrestlers health insurance, and then they tagged Triple H, Stephanie, and WWE, and Triple H liked it and then unliked it.
Right.
And then there was another one saying, "I can't wait. Maybe if WWE fans can just hold on for another year to when Vince finally goes and takes care of his XFL fucking nut job, and Triple H is handed over creative control over TV. Maybe then we'll finally start getting everything that we've wanted out of WWE." And Triple H liked that one and then unliked it as well. So.
Do you think he just automatically likes everything he's tagged in? And then has to
No,
go
because
back
my
and
God, I have tagged Triple H in a myriad
No,
of shit.
it's probably tagged 10,000 times a day.
Right. So there's growing talk backstage that Triple H is the most and it's frustrated person in the back, and Sean Sapp from Fightful even commented on it, and he was like, yeah, from my sources they said that he's been in the back consoling some of the NXT people because obviously he's bringing them up and they're getting screwed over,
Right.
Unlike this week.
Yeah, I posted a little article about some excerpts from Wade Keller's post-show podcast
Yeah.
about some writers saying what's really going on back there,
Yeah.
So Triple H going to go to AEW?
No,
Be
he's just
executive
that
vice
piss hand
president.
company?
Be
No.
executive vice president of talent relations on the road.
no.
He's not going to that pissant company.
All right, so let's move on to something a little bit more angry before we get into these Money in the Bank Pro Wrestling Scorecard picks. Lars Sullivan, it was announced yesterday on the 14th that he was literally fined $100,000 by WWE, and he has to attend sensitivity trainings. This is coming from Sports Illustrated, Dan Gartland. Again, the article was yesterday, May 14th. WWE has disciplined wrestler Lars Sullivan for his years of offensive comments made on a message board, the company confirmed.
Years of comments or years ago?
Years of comments. He was commenting this
Over a
years.
span of years.
And
dude,
yes,
he
it
said
was,
a bunch
and
of
it
dumb
still
shit.
was years ago. It was more than 5 years ago that all this stuff was said. But
It was
he's
over a
saying it
span
over a
of
span
several
years.
Okay.
In addition to a fine of $100,000, he'll be required to undergo sensitivity training. Sullivan, real name Dylan Miley, made dozens of bigoted comments on bodybuilding.com between 2007 and about 2013, targeting African Americans, Hispanics, Muslims, homosexuals, and women. The posts were first resurfaced when WWE began teasing Sullivan's arrival on the main roster in November. A Reddit user highlighted more comments last week, which reignited the controversy and attracted attention of Miley's colleagues, including Big E, who is black and has been outspoken on issues of race in the past. WWE issued an apology on Miley's behalf. And WWE announced Tuesday that Miley would be disciplined for his remarks. Let's now, some of these remarks that he said, I have this Reddit. You guys go to Reddit, you can type in, it's the squared circle one. And some of these comments that he said are... Some blacks want to take advantage of their great-grandparents' misfortunes, and they want a piece of the pity pie. Instead of taking some personal responsibility, they choose to attack the white man and say we must take care of them financially. He goes, when immigrants, particularly of the illegal persuasion coming from our neighbors down south, hear that we are land of the free, to them that means they get free stuff. There is a clear political divide among the races. The Democrats essentially bribing minorities for votes is the root cause of this problem. So many other reasons. And then he said other things like, if we're going off scientific facts, obviously whether Hispanic or black women, who pops out the most babies at the youngest age? Hispanics followed by blacks. Why do 50% of black women have STDs? Sleuths? Swear to God he said sleuths. Then he said this one, under the header, he started this thread. Under the header, is legitimate rape versus illegitimate a real thing? Not a troll thread, just a thought. And the thought is that there's a gray area when it comes to sexual intercourse and rape. There's 100% complete consensual sex when a woman will rip off her clothes and jump on you. Then there's levels that don't quite reach 100% consent. Most women like men to take control. At what point is too much control? I'm not insinuating that the politician who spewed nonsense about women controlling when they get pregnant by switching it off and their brain is right, he's a complete moron. But the fact is, there is a gray area when it comes to the definition of rape.
She said no. You continued. That's rape. I mean, pretty clear definition.
Yeah. Then these were, and it was proven.
So what I'm gathering here is Lars Sullivan is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think he made some comments about Jeff Hardy too. I think
yeah, there was eventually ones that he was talking about. Like even these are things that he was signed to WWE. And look, you can say what you want about another superstar. I don't give a shit. It's the fucking bigoted and
right.
all that stuff. There was another one where he said, "Oh, you're black. No wonder all you can do is copy and paste."
I heard he said something about school shootings.
Hey, Lars.
I think he said something about R-Truth directly as well. I think something about New Day.
I don't think he said anything about New Day, but he said Kofi and R-Truth. He goes, "Hey, look, Kofi and R-Truth together. Look, they could be in a black gang prison."
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like thugs or something like that. Yeah.
So someone said, "Listen, I have an idea for a while, but I haven't told anyone about it. Maybe he can." I don't know what this is about. Maybe he can champion an all-black stable, something new, And by the way, as far as your SIG goes, you have probably never been to D.C. because white women can't get enough of the black dudes, whatever. So he responded, "No, I just go by what I see and hear personally. I know out here white women actually hate black men. I was just working at this woman's house, and she was telling me about how it's a fad to be with black men back in the day, and how she regrets having a half black more than anything else in the world. LOL. And also in porn, it's well known that there's a lot of racism and prejudice, and that a lot of being is how that's most skank-filled industry possible. So I truly believe his SIG is accurate. It doesn't show his SIG, so I can't fucking tell you anything on that. Yeah, these are crazy.
This guy's a fucking idiot. I mean, like, I'm a white guy, like most of us in this room, and hot
Except
damn
for
it,
me.
exactly. So
Where's Smitty?
Look,
one at a time.
like I said though, bro, like I mean, you're fucking just stupid. Like even if you weren't in a spotlight like that, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, it sounds like he has nothing up here.
Dude,
Like he produces thoughts, but he doesn't produce
You're
whole
just an
thoughts.
asshole,
Like,
first of all, for saying that. And second of all, you already had your anxiety attack thing or whatever the fuck happened when you went up to the main roster.
too many black people in the arena. You didn't know that?
Apparently. Now we know why he really
it was full of minorities. He just got nervous and couldn't go out there.
Wait, you're gonna make who the WWE champion?
Oh, shit. Like,
Put me to mental institution for 90
I'm sorry,
days.
dude. That guy, that's just fucking ignorant.
Well, it's like I told Mikey before we went on the air. I said, okay, he wants to talk about how, well, now I don't feel like that. Those are thoughts that I had, back, 5-10 years ago, whatever. You can't tell me there's not a little piece of you that still doesn't fucking feel that way.
Well, no, he doesn't feel like that anymore because he signed that contract with the millions of dollars in the lineup. So of course he doesn't feel like that anymore.
Now he's just got bad anxiety.
Right. So WWE fines him $100,000 and say that he has to go to sensitivity training. And I'm going to be the first to say this. I think the stupidest fucking thing in the world is that he was fined $100,000 for shit that he said when he was not with a company.
Do you think, I know we talked earlier, like, we don't think, do you think that's a work? And I don't mean like a storyline work, for TV. I mean, do you think they just told the public that he was fined that much to save face, and he wasn't really fined that much behind closed doors, because that's a lot of money for a new guy. That could be like close to their year's salary.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's storyline-ish.
Not storyline. I mean just
Hey, we're
face,
fining
face
him
value.
$100,000.
I don't mean working it into an angle. I mean like they're telling their
So they're not. You're asking if they're
stockholders.
not really finding him.
They're telling their stockholders and they're telling the media outlets that, hey, this guy's being taking a sensitivity training. We fined him $100,000. We've gone the punitive route on him, but maybe they for real didn't hit him that hard.
Maybe,
you know,
maybe fine him $100,000, but once he completes sensitivity training, he might have his money restored back. That something
Right.
Like that. Yeah.
That, or they actually could have fined him $100,000, but told him that it might be a certain amount.
And we'll take
every-
$10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 here.
maybe like a
Yeah,
certain
like
amount
we're taking this to like
each
adds
year
up to-
over a certain amount of years or something.
Because I think that can be tracked. And so I think if the WWE is actually saying that, and it's a company that has already
I
had a
want
lot
to
of
say
problems,
Lars Sullivan probably don't make much more than that a year, dude.
But he just got called up to the main
Still,
roster,
dude,
and
not
it might be
everybody's
like a
making $1
signing
million,
bonus.
especially new guys, dude.
'Cause
Well,
I
right.
think they NXT people make about $100 a year, maybe
Or
80.
100 or less.
If
Right.
that.
So now that he got his boost up, he
some are
might
probably-
make 250.
It's probably 100 give or take in NXT. Some are probably around there, some a little less, some a little more, probably.
well, there's been a lot of talk that WWE's throwing out $500,000 contracts to people to keep them. So it's very possible that
Well, they're
Fuck, they
scrambling, right?
offered
They're
Ryan-
scared. I mean, Vince is scared.
But again,
of
if they're
AEW.
offering that contract and it's coming out to people that they don't want to lose, and it's now like their kind of baseline. JR even said they offered $500,000 to someone that's not even on TV just to keep him
I
from
think
going.
Rhino just got one of those.
Rhino got offered double what they were paying
Yeah,
in
and
a
he said
5-year
no.
extension.
All
and
right,
he said
so-
no to go to the Indies.
Oh wow.
It's reported that the developmental contracts are paid on averages of $50,000 to $150,000 a year, with the median salary being $80,000.
Okay.
And then
So
for
we were right
Well,
there.
he's actually
Yeah.
called up now, so he definitely got a boost up.
the
from that.
the average back in 2014 was $25,000
Oh, my bad.
a wrestler.
No, not into the mic, like over toward Kyle, because you're getting off camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't see your sexy face, dog.
Let me lean this way. Hold on, there we go. Okay.
Lean right. Lean right. So I stated it. I 100% believe he should not have been fined. Okay, but at the same time, the sensitivity training should have happened. But I also don't think he should have a fucking job. I think if you're gonna fine somebody for something they did when they weren't even with your company, that's
Then
kind
why'd
of
you hire him in the
that's
first
ki-
place?
yeah. And it's been coming out that WWE knew about this shit. So if you've known about this shit, one, you can't fucking fine him. There has to be fucking something done. You either have to fire
it's a
him.
PR move.
Yeah, but again, it fucking sucks that I'm literally saying Lars Sullivan is getting the shit end of the stick with this, because I think he should have been fucking fired. I don't think he should be there.
Wait, so as the black guy in the room, I'm just going to say, I agree with you. If any of this happened while he was with the company, yeah, he should be fined. But
This was long before.
this was before, so he shouldn't have been fined.
Hogan dropped the N-bomb. Wasn't with the company at the time.
And they
They
took him
found
out
out
the
when it
Hall of
was,
Fame.
and he was fucking released. He was taken off of everything. This shit
Yeah,
that
for a
Lars
while there,
Sullivan is
Hogan
saying,
did not
yeah,
exist.
he was Benoit like fucking crazy.
And that's Hogan,
Yeah.
arguably one of their biggest stars
This
of
is
all time.
Lars fucking Sullivan. Rich Swann had charges brought up on him, and they dropped him like that.
Enzo.
And then the charges were cleared
Enzo
after
too.
he was gone. Enzo, same
I mean,
thing.
granted, he lied, but to the company,
Yeah,
which
He
is grounds
didn't even
for
lie. He just
He
didn't
did-
tell
yeah,
him.
he didn't-
Right. So, but I'm just saying there
Because he was told by authorities that it probably wasn't going to turn out to be anything anyway, which it wasn't, which is why he didn't tell him.
But again, hiding stuff is why he was let go.
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
he wasn't let go because of his actions. Enzo was let go because of that. Swan was let go because of dude, you fucking kidnapped your girlfriend and threw her in your fucking trunk. You know, you Ray Riced her, only she was alive. You know,
Well, Ray Rice didn't kill anybody.
You know,
hiding murder victims.
but here's the thing, though. Like you said, though, Mikey, like, I mean, if it was said outside
Not Ray
WWE,
Rice, sorry.
sure.
Keith
No, not Ray Rice. What?
Ray
no, the no, the
that's
fucking
what I was
other
thinking.
Baltimore Raven.
Ray
Oh,
Lewis.
Ray
Ray
Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah.
Oh.
Lewis.
yeah, but I mean,
He did his time for that.
yeah. But I mean, like you said, though, I mean, if it was done outside WWE, yeah, don't fine him. But here's the thing, though. You knew that shit going in, and here's the thing. Lars Sullivan, like, I mean, clearly you can't help your own health, but if he's having anxiety attacks coming in, now you got this shit. Like, I mean, how many, this motherfucker, if he's not on 3 strikes, is on about 2.75. Like, if that motherfucker did anything else and it were my company, fuck that.
Wait, remember Seth Rollins' girlfriend that got fired for
Zara?
Weren't those comments made before she signed with the company? Oh, during.
Yeah, because they were together.
Becky Lynch is still there. What are you talking about? I know you're talking about. I know. I'm just.
She was making like some pro Nazis comments or something like that. I thought that was like before she got signed with the company. But my thing is, you knew the guy was making the comments, and you still have him on your roster. And honestly, he's not really all that. So why are you holding on to him?
And going forward, can you have him
like big sweaty men thing?
Can you have him feud with
a black guy?
Like, you can't have him feud with Andrade. He doesn't like Mexicans. Can't have him feud with any black talent you have. So Apollo Crews,
but wait,
New Day.
Who does he keep squashing right now? R-Truth. And he made comments about R-Truth. Like, what sense does that make?
And so Big E commented on Twitter. Someone tagged him and said, "Big E, are you aware of this racist asshole that you're going to have to work with?" And Big E commented, he goes, "Many are aware. If true, he has to bear the albatross of being a bigot and working in a company that is now filled with minorities." That was Big E's response to it. I don't understand why this guy is still in WWE. He doesn't deserve it. I'm all for
And he's
people.
not even that good in the ring.
I'm all for people growing up, right? People are fucking stupid and eventually get educated and fixed. There's a reason you don't know 2 + 2 when you're 4, but you know it when you're 7, hopefully. You know, there's a reason that if you're raised a certain way, and I'll be very honest, dude, if you're raised a certain way, you're going to start thinking these ways until you might be educated on something different. So yes, when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, when you're young, you're going to say stupid shit until you learn you're wrong. And I'm not saying he hasn't learned he was wrong, but I'm saying that this shit is as recent as 2013. Yeah. That's 6 years ago. You're not fucking telling me you learned everything in 6 fucking years. You're telling me you don't want to lose your goddamn job. You know, and if you go out and you fucking do shit and he hasn't even fucking apologized. WWE released a fucking statement for him. Everything I've looked at was WWE saying, "Oh, WWE says this, Lars through WWE." Fuck, even Hogan said, "I didn't know I was being recorded." At least he said it, you know. It wasn't like it was a bullshit fuck apology, but at least he came out and said it.
Yeah, he did. He was. I said it, but I didn't know I was being.
And at least, at least the guy had balls enough to say, "Look, yeah, I said the shit. It was wrong. I shouldn't have said it. Like, I fucked up." Like, he at least owned some of it. Where Lars is just kind of like, it's like, yeah.
Titus O'Neil came out with a tweet saying that Lars, at least, yeah, it's me.
I'm sorry.
For anyone who didn't notice on the video stream or listening on the audio, we have a Kevin Smith pop vinyl, and Devin just put it up to my head and was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's totally me."
This looks familiar. You guys got your own bobbleheads?
Wow, you guys really fucking made it. If you didn't know, if you got your own Funko Pop, motherfucker, you made it.
So Titus O'Neil tweeted out today around 2 p.m. Lars, WWE, I applaud you for seeking out myself and others on the WWE roster to not only sincerely apologize, but also seek guidance as how to move forward in being a better human being than you were 9 years ago. Nobody is perfect, including, thank you, Vince McMahon, for taking action. I'm assuming he meant to say nobody is perfect, including me, but he didn't write me. Again, that's a great step. If you're actually going to human, going, my bad, I fucked up. I was a piece of shit. I have had problems. I'm trying to work through them. I'm trying to become better. Cool. But there's no fucking reason you have a push right now. If you're not going to fire the guy, he needs to be off fucking television.
Yes.
He needs to at least be something. He needs to be away from the TV, go through all of that sensitivity fuck training and everything, and you just got to fucking bite the bullet and it's like, well, we hope this wouldn't come out, but it did, so our fuck up. Nick, what are your thoughts on this?
I agree with you.
Is he fodder? Drink. Every time someone says the word fodder, you have to drink on our show.
Oh, I've been drinking every time the bell rings too.
Oh, that. Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think he should.
habit.
I don't think he should have a job right now either. It's really, if they're going to go to that extreme, I mean, like you said, Kyle, he's got 2.75 strikes right now.
Like,
you know
seriously,
what I mean?
like.
So, like, at this point, I kind of feel like they're more interested in the money they can make off of him as whatever character they want him to be, as opposed to, you know, their bottom line and showing this whole PG product thing. And
that, or they just don't want him to go somewhere else. So
yeah,
we're just
so they're just kind of
keep this side.
not sweeping it under the rug per se. They're dealing with it in a very minimal way, and it's
Yeah, like
sad.
instead of getting a bucket and water and cleaning it up, they're just kind of using the wet Swiffer.
Yep, just,
Yeah. All right. Before we go into our Pro Wrestling Scorecard picks, we're going to talk about what happened over the weekend in the Metro Detroit area. The Not Guts and Three Counts podcast and ourselves here at Breaking Down the Ring had the fortune of interviewing quite a few people from Evolve Wrestling who were in town with Shine at the Livonia, Michigan, Shine 58 and Evolve 127. I got to meet Adam Cole and Cassius Ono. Talk to Adam Cole about how my daughter is the hugest mark now for Undisputed Era because of Roddy, and how even Velveteen Dream looked
Is
at her.
that why
and
he's so mad at Roddy?
Probably. And how even Velveteen Dream was like, you can't boo the good guys. And she was like, fuck you. Go read a Lars Sullivan comment. And I'm like, Kayla, stop. You're fucking 10.
Too soon, Kayla. Too soon.
No fucks given.
I'm fining you 100,000 crackers. Because that's all she has.
Well, there's a joke there. About me.
Right.
That was-
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's definitely an underlying joke.
Ritz.
Well, that's a saltine right there.
Jesus
Right.
So you bring it all back around. Man.
Bring it around town.
So, Kyle, you were there for Shine and Evolve. So Devin and I were not there for the Shine. We had real lives.
I switched my days off.
Whatever. So tell us a little bit about the Shine show.
Honestly, man, like they had a decent crowd for what time it was. I mean, it ran at 3:00. Like we were talking with Chris, who's past guest of your guys' show and was on our show the week before. They had to switch.
Chris
everything.
T. Bonjour.
Exactly. But he had to. They said they had to switch the show because when they originally booked it, they didn't realize it was Mother's Day. So I mean, with it starting at 3:00, I mean, they had.
I think he said it was about 150
It was
people there.
somewhere between 150 and 200. So at like 3:00, I mean.
On a
all
Friday,
things
that's not
considered,
bad.
no.
Yeah.
And the card itself, holy shit. I mean, honestly, I almost would venture to say that Shine might have been better than Evolve. Like, I mean, every match they had on there was pretty good except for maybe one. But, like, and the women were laying them fucking chops in like a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, Chris said Mercedes
Mercedes
Martinez. Yeah.
Yes.
He told her, like, wait, you were laying it in. Like, he's like, hey, it's 3:00. I could lay my shit in and
Dude.
chill for the rest of the night. Why not?
There were a couple of them on Sue Young where I was like, son of a bitch. Like, but yeah, I mean, I would definitely say Shine was great. We got to see Detroit's own Allison Kay do her thing. And then, Eva Lise had a great match. I mean, literally down the whole card, dude. I mean, I knew it was going to be star-studded, but I didn't realize it was like that. And I mean, clear down to Santana Garrett versus Kimberly, who used to be in NXT as well. Like, I mean, it was pretty good.
So we'll give you the breakdown of Shine 58 from Michigan. Why didn't that load all of a sudden? I had it. Son of a bitch. The girl that we interviewed last week, Brandy Lauren, she was featured against Thunder Kitty. So it was Allison Kay defeated Samantha Heights. Brandy Lauren defeated Thunder Kitty. Lindsay Snow defeated Marty Bell. Santana Garrett defeated Kimberly. The Shine Nova Championship, Shotzi Blackheart defeated Aja Pereira. Eva Lise defeated Natalia Markova, who is Devin's love.
Hell yes. Please believe he was shooting his shot to get her on our show. So
Mercedes Martinez
stay tuned.
defeated Sue Young, and the Shine Tag Team Championship match, Rainbow Bright defeated the Twisted Sisters. So, yeah, man. All accounts, it said it was a great show, and then we got to see Evolve 127, which was headlined by Austin Theory versus Adam Cole in a non-title match.
That kid's gonna be signed to WWE like soon as fuck.
I thought that when we went, what was it, a year and a half ago, Joe? We went, and Austin Theory, I think he was the Evolve or WWN champion then.
I think it was WWN.
Yeah. He was in the main event there, and we were like, man, this fucking kid is good, and he can go. So Evolve 127, man, there was the match of the night, at least in my opinion, was JD Drake defending the WWN Championship over Joe Gacy. Two big guys that you're not supposed to be. Look, most of the time you watch a big guy match, you're like, okay, it's going to be a decent match, or it's going to be a fucking slop show. This was a fucking clinic those guys put on. Dude. Devin, what were your thoughts when you were watching this?
Ow. I'm like, dude, they are laying their shit in, man. I think at that match I went and sat down at the seats or whatever, because before I was standing in the back with you, and the closer
friends.
Well, Kevin's back there with you,
right?
But
I came back. We all switched out, so Mikey had different companions.
But man, just listening to what was happening, like basically in the second row, man, they were laying that shit in, man. It was a great match, man. JD, I got a greater appreciation for him watching that match, because I've seen him before in tag action, but this is my first time actually seeing him in solo action.
Same. And I have the Club WWN. Like, I can honestly say I don't think I went to it a couple times to watch like things that I've been at, but I've never really gone into it. And it's like being at Evolve again this week made me want to go delve further into everything with it. Yeah. Continue. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, but yeah, this is my first time seeing him in one-on-one, and I'm sitting there like, he's got the championship? Like, really? But hey, prove me wrong. Like, the guy, I'm definitely looking for. I want to see more of him. And from this point forward,
and he couldn't have been a cooler dude either, because like he chopped it up with us after the show and like was talking to us a little bit about what we had done with Briggs leading up to it, and we may very well be bringing him on Knockouts and 3 Counts soon.
Well, are you
only reason I bring that up at all is because he fucking when we talked to him after the show, he was just talking about how like during their matches, because they're the bigger guys, it's kind of like they always kind of like, people don't expect them to be athletic. And I mean, this motherfucker was blowing out full-blown moonsaults. And if you haven't seen the guy, go look at him on Instagram.
He's bigger than Kevin Owens.
Yes. Right. And like, I mean, top rope.
He's not that big.
I'm
looking at pictures of him right now. He's about the same size as Kevin Owens. He's not bigger.
I would say Kevin Owens is a little bit more solid.
Though?
But he looks like Kevin Owens' drunk uncle.
Yeah.
Bushwhacker Owens.
Yeah, but that's fair. He's definitely not as solid as Owens. Is what I'm saying.
It just, in other words, it wouldn't have. What I saw was not what I would have expected if I didn't. Like if I didn't know anything about the guy, that definitely would not have been what I expected.
Right.
I thought it was great, especially like. Because I feel like there was kind of like a lull, like it kind of hit a lull right before his match, and then like I don't think anybody in that room expected.
Yeah, because that Kurt Stallion Eddie Kingston match was the drizzling shits. Like, look, Eddie Kingston's a friend of the show. He called in.
Wrestling business,
but man, that match, and look, I know Eddie Kingston was just in a fucking fight. Like, was it a couple days before? Yeah. So I get it. You're drained from an actual kickboxing thing. I get it. But man, that was the only match that I think all of us. I think you and I were sitting next to each other, Devin. We're like, or was it you and Kyle? We're just like, what the fuck, man? This match is just. We were watching it going.
Well, we both
this
said
can
we were
end
bummed.
anytime. Yeah,
that's why I was so excited for you guys to interview him, because I've been a fan of Eddie Kingston.
He was entertaining as hell on this show.
Oh yeah, on the show,
that motherfucker real.
And he can talk some shit.
Yeah, dude, he's entertaining.
Adam Cole then went over Austin Theory by pinfall because there was a little bit of distraction from Spider Nate Webb. So Nate couldn't get his hands on Austin Theory because he was fighting for the title at Evolve 128 the next night in Indianapolis. And he goes, I'm not leaving until I get something from you, Adam Cole. And we're all like,
they stole
oh,
the
shit.
show with that shit.
And they fucking, Nate Webb's entrance music is, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, it's Teenage Dirtbag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fucking the music starts, and then Cole throws his leg up. Nate catches it and then starts playing the guitar on Cole's leg while Cole's air drumming and shit. And they go around the entire fucking hall.
Awesome.
Just Adam Cole the whole time just air drumming, and Nate's just walking on chairs and shit. It was a great fucking ending to a great fucking show.
Did you see how that blew up on Twitter though? Like during it and after the show though?
No.
Like, dude, like when you and I were standing back there, dude, like they like we tweeted about it, and then like somebody next to us had tweeted about it, and like within minutes, like Gabe Sapolsky was tweeting about it, and like only it evolved, and I'm like, dude, That shit was fucking hysterically funny to me.
Yeah.
Especially considering just 2 weeks before that, this guy was main eventing Barclays, and now here we are back at home, and he's in a fucking Knights of Columbus air guitar.
Goddamn bingo hall.
That was awesome, dude. That was awesome.
So I thought the show was pretty good overall.
Definitely,
When you guys got to meet a couple people, I know obviously I mentioned and we posted on our social media that I met Adam Cole, Cassius Ohno, and of course met in person with Brandy. What was the highlight for you of the people that you met or talked to?
I think you had left at that point, but basically, well, first of all, let me shout out to Kieran, Kip, Lauren, and Harry. The couple, I don't know if you were at the Ring of Honor show where the couple got engaged in the ring.
I was.
Yeah,
You were there?
so we had them on
We
our
had them
show
on the
a little
show,
while back.
and then the Progress show that they had, there was a couple that got married, and they cut their reception short to go to the Progress show. Well, we had them on the show, and our gift to them was tickets to the Evolve show.
Because
so
some jackass stole all their money at their wedding. Right before the Progress show, including their tickets.
That was our Valentine's Day show. So we had these two great wrestling couples, and we bought them tickets for the.
Wait, is
for
that
the
who I
Evolve show.
took a picture of you guys with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking knew they looked familiar.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so we're all sitting around, and we start. I just pulled Cassius Ohno to the side. I'm like, "Hey, Cassius, no Pistons gear for this show." So he just starts talking to us. We're sitting there talking about, WWE, this and that, blah blah blah, and we start asking questions like, "So how do we, get you guys on the show?" Like, "Oh, well, email this guy, and just keep trying, man." So Cassius Ohno taking about 10 minutes with us, just talking to us, was one of the best highlights of the show for me. I don't know about you, Kyle.
That was definitely super cool because he talked to us about everything. He gave us tips as far as to how to get your shit in there, because we've all tried to get interviews and things. I'm sure you have as well. And he gave us a lot of tips as far as that stuff. As far as
I'm gonna have to pick y'all brains on that after this.
sure.
Wait, real quick before you go. One thing that was hilarious, he was like, "Well, I could do Evolve and I could, sell Chris Hero stuff and be Chris Hero." I'm like, wait, you're Chris Hero? he just looked at me like. It's like, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, that was super cool for us to get to talk to him. Another cool thing for me personally, we got to chop it up with our guest Josh Briggs for a while. Couldn't have been a cooler fucking dude, and I definitely see big things for him. But as far as matches, man, I don't know, man. The whole show was cool. I would say those two would be the highlight for Evolve, and then as far as Shine, it was cool to get to chop it up with Holodead and Thunder Rosa for quite a little bit.
Okay.
Even though your guest was totally giving the stank face in my picture for real.
Kyle's a fan of the Twisted Sisters now.
I already was, but
one zombie licks his neck and looks at him.
well, I'm going to leave my other comment for off the show.
All right. So that being said, we've had fun with the Evolve people. Chris let us know that they're going through a lull, but as soon as they start kicking back up to go do things in New York, they're going to hit us up as well. I'm sure he said the same thing to you guys. Definitely. So then look out for Knockouts and 3 Counts podcast. They're every fucking Tuesday, man. 9 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Right here on podcastdetroit.com. And they do their show. You can watch them if you want to watch their video. They do it on their Facebook. So go to facebook.com/Knockouts and 3 Counts.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you fucking watch their Facebook Live or, Podcast Detroit app if you're listening live, or Apple Podcasts, all that stuff.
Yep.
Get your downloads.
We're out there on all them shits.
I will say, giving a heads up for anyone paying attention to both shows, we got a notice from the head runner of the studio. He put a thing into our group saying that they're switching platforms for the podcast hosting, and it's going to be easier for them to now be on Spotify. So hopefully
we'll be coming to Spotify.
That's going to put us on Spotify as well. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, soon. Hopefully,
Making moves.
That's what we do.
I'm with it.
All right, let's go into our Pro Wrestling Scorecards picks, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to quickly run these down. We got about another hour to go. You guys check them out at PW Scorecards on Twitter. They just started season 4, man. If you're looking at this, if you're watching this live on the video, you can see it's a brand new layout. It looks gorgeous the way they have this set up. It's wonderful. PW Scorecards on Twitter. Starting off, they don't have the SmackDown live tag match on here, but you can't use, because it is a scheduled match, you can't use any of those 4 competitors in the unscheduled appearances, because it is technically scheduled, but they had these cards out already and they weren't able to change them up in time for this. Again, this is also their first card with the Season 4 format, so moving forward. They also have a new website, ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You can go to that. You can get all these cards as well. So at PW Scorecards on Twitter, ProWrestlingScorecards.com. We wanted to have Daniel call into the show, but he's really sick right now, and we wish him the best in his
Sick of
health.
losing all the goddamn time.
Fucking piece of shit.
Feel better, bro.
Wait, quick question, man. How did you guys get hooked up with Pro Wrestling Scorecards?
So-
How did that happen?
It happened organically.
Yes, it was the best way to get over ever. It was organic, and we followed the plot holes and storylines. We worked with it. We didn't just switch it up every week. No. I want to say it was about the.
It was not fodder.
Yeah. Oh, drink.
I said that on purpose.
I have no more liquids. I need more liquids.
Kyle?
I can grab you one if you like.
I appreciate it, sir.
If you could grab me one too, that'd be great.
I can do that.
I'm good. Actually, I'll take a high quality H2O.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
No, Colonel Sanders, Mama was right.
Football is the devil.
So about 3 months into our show, we were doing, we had a fake, our little championship and everything like that. And we were just doing it off of the guessing it. And then whoever got the most right got it. Well, after like 3 months of it, we realized we were all kind of getting the same number. And so I was like, I saw these guys and I hit them up. I said, hey man, I really like what you're doing. Do you mind if I use these on our podcast? Obviously, we'll put you over. We'll mention it, so on and so forth. Right. And he said, yeah. He was just starting as well, actually.
Really?
Yeah, what's really funny is our show started June of 2016. Their first one was WrestleMania 2016. So it's like literally they started 2 months before. No, I'm sorry. Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank 2016 was their first one.
Wow.
So
started
we both started in June.
Basically at the same fucking time. Wow. And we didn't find them until 3 months into our show. And he said, yeah, go ahead. And we have used them ever since. And I honestly say, man, these things make any pay-per-view better. The shittiest WWE pay-per-view we were watching was better because we were fucking playing this.
Yeah, it's like fantasy football almost. Like if you have a team, you pay more attention to certain games that you wouldn't normally pay attention to.
Right.
Strictly because you're wondering what the point spread is.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, man. I really have not been watching wrestling lately, and I'm like, do I really want to make picks? I'm gonna make
Cliff
picks.
Notes.
It's gonna be
Cliff Notes. That's all you need.
This shit's been really hard to watch lately, in your defense.
Look, dude, I watch it, but that's why I'm glad that my shit's recorded. Because if I don't like the shit, I could just skip through until I see the shit I actually want to see.
I used to do that before I started doing this show. Now I feel like obligated to watch it
agree.
all. Yeah. But, God, it's just so fucking bad.
So the other thing is, what's really good is Pro Wrestling Scorecards will have a booth at StarCast 2.
really.
Yep, they will be there. So if you're going out there,
Yeah,
you're going out there.
I'm gonna be there.
Fucker. About time you get the bill.
So you're going out there. Go see them. I'm still can't say I'm not because I have that request off in, and then that schedule for the Thursday came out, and I already have that Thursday off. So basically, if I make good money this weekend, I'm just gonna fucking go. Right.
Okay, cool.
And I hopefully.
Wait, where do you work?
Huh?
Where do you work?
Well, Old Shillelagh, downtown Detroit.
Everybody, go to Old Shillelagh this weekend.
I'm on the main bar all days, so I actually might make decent money.
Don't buy drinks. Just tip Mikey.
Exactly. Get one drink, tip me $20. 5 people on the bar, I'll get 5 of that. 4 of that. really bad at math right away. So they're going to be at StarCast with a booth. They're going to be selling their own special shirt for it. It's a red shirt with a black brand new PWS logo. They're obviously doing a scorecard for Double or Nothing. And they're going to be getting into more AEW, more Ring of Honor, more New Japan. So it's not just going to be WWE focused. What's crazy about that is I realized that I was talking with Daniel today, the founder, that they're changing like we're changing. Like we're gonna start incorporating more. Obviously, AEW is gonna have a fucking weekly show.
Right.
We're definitely gonna be talking about that. You know,
I'll gladly be the representative for just the AEW.
So, you know, moving forward, the way they're expanding, we're expanding as well. And I love that crew. They're really nice. We've had them on the show a myriad of times. Right. Honestly, man, you probably talk to Danny too and try and get it. Hey, I got a vocabulary, sir. I'm grammatically proper.
Daniel, if you're listening, for beating you so many times, I want a fucking T-shirt.
I'm wearing the old school one right now. This is their old logo.
Well, I'll be there, so I can bring the shirt back if you want, man.
I honestly
appreciate that. Free shipping and handling.
Now we're talking.
I'm gonna have to give
system.
But yeah, I definitely go talk to those guys when I'm there, man. So
Awesome.
Definitely.
All right, so let's start this off. Money in the Bank, bunch of matches. Again, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match is not on this card, but you cannot use Daniel Bryan, Rowan, or who the fuck are they? Who are they taking on?
The Usos.
What are they going against?
Is it the Usos?
Are they really?
It's the Usi Hot.
Wait, I thought the Usos were on. Never mind.
Yeah, don't even start.
It's
don't
the
even start.
wild card,
Yeah.
sir. They can do whatever.
They're the
want.
wild Samoans. They can go anywhere.
Yeah, idiot. I don't even see it on. Oh, SmackDown Tag. Yeah, for the Usos. All right. So you can't use the Usos or Daniel Bryan or Eric Rowan for your extras. So the first match, obviously I'm the current Ring Crew champion, which means I'm going to invoke my clause of going last because I am the fuck you midget stripper.
The fuck?
Devin almost bit his shit out.
You can't say the M word.
Sorry, goddamn midget.
Vertically challenged.
Yeah, little person, under 4'11" with the hands.
Imp.
I almost bopped Kyle there.
It's against my religion to spit out beer, so I power through that.
I was trying not to. He almost got me.
The running gag is every time I say that, Nick just makes a small boo. And so it's like, because it's a little. So I dubbed it a midget stripper. I don't know why. I just figured midget strippers would probably hate me as the Ring Crew champion. So it makes sense.
I've got a thing for short women, man. So
Hey, all women are short if you stand up on them.
I was about to
Turns
say,
out you can't
considering
spin her,
you're the
though.
tall one out of our show, I mean, doesn't that happen a lot? I mean, considering.
being 6'4" has its perks.
Yes, it does.
Fuck both of you.
Sorry, Kyle, I couldn't see you. Can you do that again?
Well, I'll make you see, all right.
All right, so the first match is Tony Nese versus Arya Daivari for the Cruiserweight Championship. 3 extras in this. Fall type aerial moves, +or-1. Remember, I have to find where this shit is now on the fucking scorecard. Aerial moves are any offensive move attempted from elevated location and landing in a lower location will be counted. Notice, attempted. It does not have to connect for it to be considered an aerial move. And +or-1 for that. Match time in minutes, +or-1, bell to bell. If you hit the number dead on, you are getting an extra 2 points. I, of course, as the Ring Crew champion, will go last. So this one, we're going to have Nick. So everyone is going to start first, and we're just going to work our way around it. So Nick's going to be going first for this one. The next match, Z will be going first, then Joe, then Kyle, then Devin, and then back around. All right. So Nick, kick it off.
Bam. Tony Nese. By pin, 7 aerial moves in the match time of 11 minutes.
Ooh, all right.
I have Anthony Nese.
Antoine
Antonio.
Is this like Drew and Mike from 10 years ago?
Yeah, basically. By pinfall with 6 aerial moves and a 12-minute match time.
All right. Joe?
I got Tony Nese by pin, 8 aerial maneuvers, and 12 minutes.
All right. Kyle?
I got Nice by pin.
Kyle.
And
You guys, I'm going home. Come on, Cat. No, that's not Kyle. That's Catman.
I know that, but
Come on, Cat.
if any of you says my mom's a bitch, I will kick you in the dick.
Catman's bitch, make that bitch the biggest bitch in the whole wide world.
Anyway,
All the boys and girls.
fuck you guys. Anyway, I'm gonna go 7 minutes match time. I'm going Tony Nese by pin, and I'm gonna go 5 5+ aerial moves.
5 aerial moves?
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's plus, so he gets the number no matter what.
My bad. I thought it was like number plus.
I'm
my
gonna do.
bad, so
I'm
I
gonna
hit-
do
I
5.
No, it's like if
negative,
you
so I'm
pick-
hitting under it again,
I'm on
right?
the under.
If you pick 5, and it actually is 4 or 6, you still get a point. Or,
Yeah.
using that brain.
Who's got 5 plus?
All right, Devin.
Never thought.
I've
of
got. I feel
It's
like
like- it's
everybody
like-
got Tony Nese. I want to change.
It's
mine
like
now.
ordering Thai food. It's like medium plus.
Mild plus.
How many peppers do you want?
You got it,
I
sir.
have Crohn's disease. That happens anyway.
No, I've got Tony Nese by pin, 4 aerial moves, and 12 minutes.
All right, I have Tony Nese by pin, 7 aerial moves, and 11 minutes for the match time. Up next, Roman Reigns versus the Drifter Elias, who got nothing but pops on Raw and SmackDown. They were cheering Walk with Elias like motherfucking crazy.
He was on both? What? No, I'm sorry.
Well, there's a wild card rule, sir.
Yeah, this is
I
why you
know.
gotta pay attention.
I know
asshat.
it is, but it's still. Never mind. I'm sorry.
3 extras on this fall type. Superman punch count plus or minus 1. Will the guitar be used as a weapon anytime? Which means not just bell to bell. Will it be used before or after the match has started?
Does he have to hit him with it?
Yes, that's called using it.
But he can swing it at him and
Swing
miss.
it and miss, and that's not using it.
Ah.
That's not a weapon then. Will not do anything. Z, you're starting this one off.
I'm gonna go with Samson.
Samson! On top of Samson!
By pinfall with 4 Superman punches, and yes, the guitar will be used.
All right. Whole fucking Joe.
Holy Joe!
I got Roman Reigns winning here. Pinfall, 2 Superman punches, and yes for the guitar.
All right.
I'm going with Reigns by pin. I think there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be any aerial moves really like that because neither one of them really does anything aerial. But I'm going to go with the guitars.
There's no
definitely.
aerial.
Yeah, Superman
Oh,
punches.
I'm sorry. I misread. I was reading the one below me. Yeah, I definitely think there's going to
Come on, Kyle.
There's going to be at least 2 Superman punches.
So
Excuse
you're going
me.
2?
Yeah, and I think that the guitar's definitely going to come into play.
I want to change my answer. I just want to hear Samson. I want to talk to Samson.
Samson gets me lifted.
So you're saying you have Roman?
Yeah. I have
Over Samson? Roman over Samson! That's who I'm calling!
Dude, we got to get you to do a drop for our show. Man. We need that as a drop for our show. I'm going Roman by pin, 1 Superman punch, and yes, the guitar will be used. The El Caballo.
All right. Nick.
Roman Reigns,
Roman.
pin, 2 punches, and a fucking swing of the guitar.
All right.
Copy.
Sounds like the length of the match too.
I have Roman Reigns by pinfall, 3 for my Superman punch count. And yes,
Dick me.
the guitar will be used as a weapon. Up next, The Miz versus Shane McMahon inside of a steel cage. Nowhere for Shane to run if you didn't hear Miz's promo on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, because it was the exact same fucking promo. Who's going to win? Pin submission or escape? How will that match end? Aerial moves, plus or minus 1. Move from off the top of the cage.
Of course, Shane's in the match.
And does anyone else enter the cage? Yes or no? Joe, you're kicking this one off.
All right, I got Face Miz going over here since he lost at Mania. By pinfall, 3 aerial maneuvers. There will be a jump from the top of the cage by Shane, and no one else will enter the cage.
I've got the Miz by pin. I think there's going to be at least 2 aerial moves. I think somebody's going to jump off the cage, and I think somebody's going to get involved.
All right, Devin.
Miz by pin, 2 aerial moves. Yes, a move up the top of the cage is something high, so Shane's going to jump off of it. And, yeah, I think Mr. Miz jumps in the ring.
Motherfucker.
I think Mr. Miz gets in the ring.
All right, Nick.
The Miz, he's going to escape the cage. 3 aerial moves, yes to a move from the top, and no one will enter the cage.
The Miz is a babyface now. That's escaping's not a babyface move.
Well, I can see Shane and them, like Shane going to the top, Miz kind of climbing after him, stopping him from jumping off. And
Oh, no one's stopping Shane from jumping. He's jumping.
Not naming Vince.
I don't know.
Wait, the match is over,
All right.
and I'm up here.
Z?
I'm jumping anyway.
I have Vince McMahon winning. He escapes the cage after Paul White. Wrong show.
Oops.
I have Shane winning by escaping the cage. 3 aerial moves.
Paul White.
Yes, there will be a move from the top of the cage, and it won't be Shane. It'll be the Miz. But and yes, somebody will enter the cage.
I agree with Miz being the winner, but I have by pinfall as well. I actually have 6 aerial moves. Move from the top of the cage, yes. And does anyone else enter? Yes. Up next, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Let's give you a rundown of the ladies in this match. Ember Moon, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Natalya, Naomi, Carmella, and Nikki Cross. Just kidding, Nikki Cross is not in the match, but she should be after that fucking performance on Raw.
Wait. There was a Nikki Cross signing?
And she fucking won the
And
Fatal
she
4-Way
was
match.
half-ass normal, too.
Yeah. So, first to touch the case, who will be the first hit with the ladder? Who will be the first to climb the ladder? Last to touch the case and not win. Will the case be cashed in during the Money in the Bank pay-per-view? And will there be any outside interference in the match? Kyle, you're kicking this one off, sir.
Damn you, motherfuckers, dude. I can't.
It's okay. Come on, tell me your fucking answers.
Wrong guy.
God damn it, Kyle, hurry up! Right, Kenny? Kenny told you. Yeah, tell him, Kenny.
Carl, this is Chef. You gotta make your picks, baby. Carl, you must make your picks.
And they're chocolate and salty.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Just Christ. I'm going to scissor you later, Kyle.
I'm going home.
You guys should come on the show every week. At least just Kyle, so we can make fun of him.
All right, bitch. You play around enough. I'm going to start firing.
I'm just saying.
Anyway.
All right, let's go.
I'm going with Bliss. I think Bliss is going to win. Just because the other names that are in there, I don't see it. I think the first to touch the case is going to be Bliss, and they're all going to throw her off the ladder. First hit with the ladder, Dana Brooke. Let's see. Last to not touch it and win. I'm going to go Dana again. And I don't think no one's going to cash in at Money in the Bank. And outside interference, I don't think so.
Okay. Devin.
I'm going with Mandy.
Okay.
Mandy Rose. First to touch the case would be Carmella. First hit with the ladder would be Alexa Bliss. First to climb the ladder would be Mandy Rose again. Last to touch the case and not win would be Brooke. Cash in, yes. And outside interference, no. I think I want to change that, though.
Well, go ahead. Switch it up.
Yeah, I'm going to change that.
All right.
I certainly would.
Because, never mind. I can't think of his name. I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
Ellsworth?
What?
I'm done. Yes. Yes.
You think Ellsworth is showing his face? All
No
right.
way, dude. He showed his wiener to a minor.
Did he really?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Are you serious?
I'm dead fucking serious.
I mean, I don't know if it's ever proved, but it's definitely a
Somebody
legend.
accused him of it.
Is WWE trying to find him for this?
I know you don't work for us no more, motherfucker, but we want
Supposedly he
some of
sent
our money back.
some dick pics or whatever to an underage girl.
So, yeah, let me cross that out. Excuse me. Go ahead.
So you're going with no outside interference?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with no outside.
All right. Nick?
James Fellinsworth.
Wow. Well played, sir.
Wow.
You win. You win.
Well, I'm going to take Mandy. Carmella's going to be the first to touch the case. First to get hit with the ladder is going to be Natty. First to climb the ladder is going to be Carmella. Dana is going to be the last person to touch it. And no to cashing in, and yes to outside interference.
All right, Z.
I mean, this could really be taken out of context because I have Mandy. The first to touch it is Alexa Bliss. The first to get hit with it is Dana Brooke. The first to climb it is Carmella. And the last one to touch it to not get the winning is Natalya. Nobody will get off during this event.
She's not getting the money shot.
And there will be outside interference. Somebody's a cock block.
Joe.
All right, I got Alexa Bliss winning this thing. Bailey will be the first to touch the case.
The case.
The case. The first to get hit with the ladder is going to be Natty. And then Mandy will be the first to climb the ladder. Naomi, last to touch it and not win.
That's what she said.
The case will not be cashed in during the event, and yes, there will be outside interference.
This is a match that I think is one of the most difficult to pick. There was even a huge switch for the men's Money in the Bank match, which
and thank God for that,
which switched that up. So I think the women, because you're trying to figure out who do they think there is worth enough to push, right? And now I agree that Mandy is like of course they want to push Mandy, but I think that
I want to push Mandy.
But
push it real good.
I think they're going to go a different way with it.
Pull and push.
And I'm going to pick. I'm picking Ember Moon to win because I think she has the best upside in the long run for anyone. Because they've also pushed her with other things.
She's got a pretty good backside too.
Yeah. What?
Do you turn her heel at that point?
No, I don't. I think this is going to be. They had a heel win it last year, face win it this year. Fucking WWE.
I mean, normally the Money in the Bank winner ends up being a heel at some point, except for John Cena.
Right. But I think that this is going to be. I mean, it's possible. You never know what's going to happen. I love my scenario of Dana Brooke winning it, like I told last week.
Money in the Brook.
Money in the Brook. The first to touch the case, though, is going to be Bailey.
Oh, I forgot she was in the match.
So did the WWE universe.
The first hit with the ladder is going to be Naomi.
See, I was trying to go away from that. I felt like that was very racist.
It's not Ember and Naomi.
Now that's just black on black.
Right. The first to climb the ladder is going to be Carmella. No, you know what? The first to climb the ladder is going to be Mandy. And she's also going to be the last to touch my case because we're getting married. No, the case will not be cashed in during the event. And no, there will not be any outside interference. Up next is the Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Devin is kicking this one off. 3 extras. Fall type, match time in minutes, submission finishers. How many will there be? Obviously, the submission finishers doesn't have the disarmer or the figure 8. So how many of those will be in? All right, Devin.
I'm going with Becky 2 belts. She's going to win it by tap. Match will be 17 minutes, and there will be 2 submission finishers.
All right, Nick.
Yeah, Becky 2 belts. Submission. I'm going to go 18 minutes and 3 submission finishers.
Okay. Z?
I have Becky winning by pinfall. 14-minute match time with 3 submission finishers.
All right. Joe?
Becky, submission, 14 minutes, 2 finishers.
All right. Kyle?
I got Becky by submission. I think it's going to be a 10-minute match, and I think there's going to be 3 submission finishers.
Okay. I have Becky going over by pinfall, 16-minute match time, and 2 submission finishers. Up next is the second of the women's championship matches. Becky Lynch is in. Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans for the Raw women's title. 3 extras again. Fall type. How many near falls, plus or minus 1? And will there be an Evans promo before the match? Yes or no? Nick, you're kicking this one off.
Well, I've got Becky 2 belts again. Submission, 4 near falls, and there will be a promo.
Z.
Becky, submission, 2 near falls. Yes, there will be a promo.
Joe.
Same thing as Nick over there. I've got Becky, submission, 4 near falls, and yes to the promo.
Kyle.
I think we're gonna get. So let me read my shit here.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes.
You write
God damn it, Kyle.
Read it up.
God damn it,
Excuse
Kyle.
me, sir. I got my shit mixed up for a second.
With whose? Well, I thought that was my shit. Turns out, not.
It looked like it, but it was a different shade
Who
of
had
brown.
peanuts today?
I don't remember eating corn.
That's what's across
We're at
strings,
Becky
man.
Lynch, Lacey Evans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Becky's winning this one. I think this one's going to be by pin. I'm going to go with 4 near falls, and I think she's definitely cutting a promo before the match.
All right, Devin.
Becky 2 belts, tap, 2 near falls, and yes, there's a promo.
All right. I also have Becky 2 belts, but this one by submission, 3 near falls, and yes to the Lacey Evans promo before the match. Up next is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which, as announced on Raw, switched up. Sami Zayn got the win over Braun Strowman in a Falls Count Anywhere match with the help of Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre, taking Braun Strowman out of the Money in the Bank match. So now it is Andrade, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, Mustafa, fuck you, I'm calling him that, Ali, and Randy Keith Orton. There are 6 extras in this match. Who, again, similar to the women's. Who is going to be the first to touch it? Z. Who's going to be the first to hit it? Z. Who's going to be the first to climb it? Z. Who's going to be the last to touch it but not get it off? Z. And then will the case be cashed in during the Money in the Bank event? And will there be outside interference?
These answers
yes
coming
or
right
no?
now.
Z, you're leading this off. Please let me know.
I have Samuel Zayn winning my love.
Sammy.
Wanna talk to Sammy?
Andrade will be the first to touch it. Randy will be the first to hit it.
Figures.
Ali will climb it. Balor will be the last to touch it. No, the case will not be cashed in during the event. And yes, there will be interference.
All right. Joe.
All right, I'm doing this on the fly.
That's
here.
fine, man. That's fine, dog.
I got Randy Orton winning this thing because that's what I want to see the least.
Randy Borton?
Besides Baron Corbin, but he already won it. So I'm going to say Sammy's going to be the first to touch case. First to get hit with the ladder is going to be Bosley Slorbin.
Bosley Corbin.
First to climb the ladder
Clearly, Bosley didn't work.
It's in process.
is going to be Ricochet. Mm-hmm. Last to touch case and not win is going to be Finn Balor. Case will not be cashed in during the event, and there will be outside interference.
All right, Kyle.
I've got Sami Zayn winning. I think the first to touch the case is going to be Ali. I think he's going to be the first one to get hit with the ladder. I think the first to climb the ladder is going to be Corbin, and they're all going to kick the shit out of him. Last to touch the case and not win, I think it's going to be Corbin. And then I don't think nobody's cashing in the case, and I hit no on outside interference.
All right, Devin.
All right, I got Drew McIntyre winning it. The first to touch the case will be Finn Balor. First to get hit with the ladder will be Drew McIntyre. First to climb will be Andrade. Last to touch it and not win would be Rick Cochet. And
Rick O'Shea.
The Irishman, Rick O'Shea.
The high-flying Irishman, Rick O'Shea.
He's redefining aerial combat, you know.
will there be a cash in? No, and there will be outside interference.
Nicholas.
I've got Drew Mack also. First to touch the case will be Mr. O'Shea. First to be hit will be Baron. Sharon Corbin.
No, Bosley Corbin.
Bosley. First to
Did
climb.
not work.
Yeah.
Hair club for men.
Yep.
First to climb will be Andrade.
Good call.
Last to touch the case and not win will be Ali. No to the cash-in, and I did have no to outside interference, but I'm changing that to yes.
All right. I have Andrade winning this match.
I would love that. I would like that too.
Yowie, wowie!
I have a feeling that the whole Braun Strowman stuff just took Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin out of winning this match.
Yep.
So that's why the Sami Zayn picks. Anyone else other than those two, I think are smart picks.
I picked Sami Zayn before he was even in this fucking match.
But I think Andrade is going to be the best guy to be pushed in the long run. The first to touch the case, though, I will have Ali with that. I do believe that the first person hit with the ladder is going to be Corbin. I also believe that the first to climb the ladder obviously the first to climb the ladder, first to get 2 feet on the ladder, is going to be Ricochet. And I believe that the last to touch the case and not win is going to be RKO. No, the case will not be cashed in during the event, and yes, there will be outside interference. Up next is the United States Championship match. Samoa Joe defending against Rey Mysterio, and, a WrestleMania rematch. Because it's, again, happening. 3 entries. Fall type. Near falls, ±1. And will there be any Dominic interference, yes or no? Joe, kick it off.
I got Ray winning this thing, pinfall, 7 near falls, and yes to the Poppy's son interference.
That's right. Eddie Guerrero,
interference.
Poppy. He was his Poppy. Okay.
I got Ray by pinfall. I think there's going to be 5 near falls, and I definitely think Dominic's going to be involved because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this is all building to like he's eventually going to have a match, whether it's with Joe or somebody else that Ray feuds with. If it's not Ray,
All right. Devin.
I'm gonna go with the Samoan one, Joseph, by tap, 1 near fall, and I'm saying no interference.
All right. Nick.
I've got Ray, pinfall, 5 near falls, and yes to El Hijo.
Interference by Dominic. Z.
I have Mysterious Ray winning by pinfall.
Who is he?
With-
I can't tell under the mask. Who the fuck is he?
That 619 move. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah. I liked the 69 one time.
It's not supposed to be a 1. It's supposed to be a slash.
He's from San Diego. That means a whale's vagina.
It's true.
So if you guys get rid of Smitty, can I take his place as the black guy on the show?
I don't mind having a second black guy. We need more diversity.
I mean, if we put you on the show with Smitty, you'd still be the only black guy.
shots
Get fired.
Go ahead, Z. Sorry for cutting you off.
Mysterious Ray, pinfall, 4 near falls, Dominic interference.
All right. I have Samoa Joe retaining his title by submission, 3 near falls, and yes, there will be a Dominic interference as well. Up next is the WWE Championship match. Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods versus Kevin Owens. Fall type, aerial moves ±1, and will there be a New Day interference? Yes or no? Kyle, you're kicking this one off.
I think Kofi keeps the title. I just feel like they're going to build it to somebody winning, so I think it's Kofi by pin. I would say there's at least 3 aerial moves, and I definitely think there's New Day interference. I think Xavier gets involved somehow.
This pay-per-view is not going to make enough money to pay Goldberg.
The Saudi one is.
Well, I was going to say Goldberg.
That one, first time ever, corpse versus retiree.
Devin.
Can I just say 6-year-old?
Can I just say if Goldberg wins the championship, I would probably stop watching like altogether.
Goldberg's not winning the title. He's going against Undertaker.
I mean, just
it's not
like,
going to be for the
period.
WWE.
Who wins?
Like,
Goldberg goes over.
I mean, just down the line, they decide, hey, put the title on Goldberg again, I'll probably stop watching.
It's gonna happen. Be
And
prepared to
that's what-
stop.
that's what-
Joe said he was going to stop watching once Baron Corbin beat Kurt Angle.
At WrestleMania,
Hey, in all
Joe
fairness-
was done. Joe
in
was
all
like,
fairness,
I'm
I
never
haven't
watching this
I
shit
haven't
again.
seen SmackDown in like 3 weeks. So
He's halfway there.
like I mean, and I'm like barely watching Raw.
60-40.
So I'm
It's
like
only
right
2
there,
hours.
dude. I mean,
Oh man.
I mean, and then never mind. That's I was about to sidecast, but I stopped myself.
Attaboy.
I know I'm learning after how many years now? 3. Finally learned.
3 years and like 2 weeks.
All right, Devin, what are your picks, man?
I'm going with Seth frickin' Rollins by pin.
Well, we're on Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens. So how's how's Seth going to win that one?
Oh, my bad.
You'll kick off
Too
the-
much
the other
podcast juice, motherfucker. You're cut off.
Not enough.
one. Damn PCJ.
You win.
I mean, he really is fitting that Smitty role real nice right now.
I'm telling you, we'll take a spot, man. Going with Kofi Kingston by pinfall, 1 aerial move, and yes, there will be New Day interference.
All right. Nick.
I've got Kofi, pinfall, 5 aerial moves, and yes to New Day interference.
All right. Z.
I have coffee winning.
Ah, yes. All black.
So much caffeine.
Not really where I was going with that,
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
but I've seen his kids. He likes cream.
Yeah, but he's not the one the cream's going in.
True.
It's more like hazelnut. Like cream would be like never mind.
Like French vanilla taste.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
By pinfall, 5 aerial moves, no New Day interference.
All right. And then Joe.
I've also got the Kofi Kingston man
Ah, yeah.
winning by the pinfall down by the beach.
Right down by the beach. Slapping the bass. Slapping the bass.
5 aerial moves. Yes, to old Woodsy's gonna get some payback on KO fucking him up for the past few weeks.
Nice. I have Kofi by pin, 3 aerial moves, and
Wait, Kyle, did you go?
he started it. He started it.
I thought I started it.
No, you're starting the next one, bro.
Okay. That's why I read Seth Rollins. I thought
See,
it was
and this is why our show is lacking. He doesn't even listen to the things.
wow, our show is lacking.
Marry people on
Really?
We'll gladly trade Smitty for Devin.
Wait, are we
Oh,
Eric
snap.
Grievances on another
Shots
show?
fired.
Wow. I was talking shit, but
Is that what's happening with Eric Grievances on another show?
It's better than your show. This way no one can know. Kofi by pin. There will be someone knock
Kyle.
well, if you're Eric Grievances, you don't talk to me anymore, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle.
God damn it, Kyle, speak to him. He's your friend.
Do tell.
Lies. We were just taking shots before the show.
That's the only way I can get you out. Never mind.
He only talks to me with alcohol.
That's the only way I can get you to open up to me.
alcohol.
And then after you get drunk at 3 a.m., you go, "Are you up?"
Well,
All right, boys. All right.
How about now? How about now?
J-E-double-F.
All right. Kofi Kingston by pinfall. 3 for the aerial moves and no to the New Day interference. I do think Xavier Woods, I agree with you, Joe. He's going to get his comeuppance in there, but I don't think it's going to be during the match. Up next, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the Universal Championship. 4 extras here. Fall type, match in minutes, plus or minus 1. Near falls, plus or minus 1. And how many finishers? And the finishers are, because there's definitely more than 2. Curb Stomp, the Phenomenal Forearm, the Styles Clash, or the Calf Crusher. So all of those finishers are included in this. Devin, you're kicking it off.
I've got Seth frickin' Rollins, as I said before. By pinfall, the match time will be 22 minutes. Near falls will be 3, and finishers will be 3.
All right. Nick.
got Seth Rollins, pinfall, 24 minutes, 6 near falls, and 2 finishers.
All right.
I have Tyler fucking Black by pinfall, 33-minute match time, 7 near falls, 3 finishers.
All right. Joe.
Yeah, I got Seth Rollins pin, 24 minutes, 7 near falls, 4 finishers.
Kyle.
I've got the King Slayer or Beast Slayer or whatever the fuck he's going by these days. I got him by pin, 15-minute match. I think there's going to be at least 5 near falls and 3 finishers.
He's the architect of a building that he's going to burn down.
I mean, he's winning at life right now by backing
Isn't
Becky
that
Lynch.
literally like the plot of Fight Club?
Yeah. I have Becky's girlfriend by pinfall.
Becky's girlfriend.
That was like, she was like, let's get it together, and he was like, well, can I be the boyfriend? And she's like, no, I'm the man.
I saw that. That was great.
As she's busy strapping it on.
Right? We'll just start calling him Peg Rollins.
So that means that there's a possibility that 3 titles were jizzed on. Good talk.
Becky Two Nuts.
Oh, I'm sure there's been many.
When I
many
get
titles
home,
over the
when I
years.
get home, they call me Becky 3 Belts.
I'm on top, damn it. So Seth by pinfall, 22-minute match time. Near falls, I think, are going to be 7. And I believe the number of finishers that are executed is going to be 4. All right, up next, unscheduled appearances. Ladies and gentlemen, let it be known, unscheduled appearances are as follows. You get 5 picks, 3 points each now. They're not worth 5 points anymore. They're not going to completely change the incredible tide of this thing. Appearance must be live on the main card. No pre-show or pre-tape people will count. So basically,
No pre-show?
No pre-show. So it only starts at
So if there's
7.
a random match on the pre-show, none of those people count.
Right. So 7, because they was finding it way too hard to. There was way too many arguments about who was a pick and who wasn't. So from 7 p.m. to the end of the pay-per-view, when the pay-per-view starts, not the pre-show.
So it's not just like pre-taped vignettes. It's like pre-show matches and everything.
Yes, nothing before the pay-per-view.
So
starts.
that's
no
new.
pre-show. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's an
Makes
update.
sense, and that's why they can release it every Wednesday,
Well,
no matter what.
I get
right?
what because
Yeah.
they change they add stuff like right up to the second the event's going on. You know, like
Yeah.
oh, there's a match starting. I didn't know this match was on the card. Like,
Right, so it makes it a lot easier for them. You know what? I do wonder, though, if that does change. Look at you.
Way to go.
No, because there's still people who are scheduled on the card. Because I was like, wouldn't Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan then possibly count? But nope, they're still scheduled on the card, even though it's a pre-show match. So yes, appearance must be live on the main card, no pre-show or pre-tapes. WWE.com card 1 hour before pre-show will act as the official scheduled list. Managers and valets listed on scorecard, authority figures, trainers, referees, and announcers are not eligible.
I do have one question about that. If I were to pick Beth Phoenix, she's an announcer on NXT officially as of like today.
Yeah.
So
NXT
I
is
can't
not
pick her
WWE.
at all.
No,
Even
you can't.
though if she showed up, it would kind of be like a guest appearance.
And yeah, if she comes in, she's usually a guest announcer.
What if she showed up in a wrestling capacity and interfered in a match? I mean, this
She's
is
an announcer.
no,
this-
she's an
they-
announcer.
This is
Said
not
they've been
NXT.
wrestling
Doesn't
on
matter.
the live
Doesn't
ones,
matter.
though.
This
It's
ain't
still an
NXT. This is
She's still an
WWE.
announcer.
All right.
Even though she's wrestling on the live ones?
Doesn't matter. She's an announcer.
I'll ask my question when it's my turn.
No, you can ask.
Does Big E count since he's injured?
Big E would count. Yes.
Yeah,
As
he's
long as
not. Yeah, he's not expected to be there, so it would
Yeah.
be an unscheduled appearance.
Again, so you pick 5 people. It could be anybody as long as it's not one of those. So when it's authority figures, trainers. So you're none of the Steph. Even though Shane's a wrestler, doesn't count if any other appearance. Stephanie, Triple H, Vince, none of them count. Basically, it's somebody with specifically a wrestler capacity, or somebody that you might think is in the crowd that pertains to one of these matches. As it stands, the only person that doesn't count is Xavier Woods, because he's the only person that is mentioned for it, because it doesn't say Kofi Kingston with New Day. It says Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods. So yes, Big E would count for this. Nick, you're leading this off. Go with it, brother.
Mr. Miz,
Mr. Miz.
the B team, Braun Strowman, and Dominic.
All right. Z.
I have.
Wait, Dominic doesn't count? I mean,
Yeah, he counts. He's not scheduled to come out with Ray, so he will count as an unscheduled
I
appearance.
have Braun Strowman, Dominic, Zelina Vega, Nikki Cross, and The Miz's dad.
And yes, Zelina Vega counts because she's not listed on this as a. It's only people who aren't listed as a manager. So that's a good call, Z. Joe.
I'm not gonna write answers like Kyle is right now. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, I didn't know
No,
all the
do it, man.
rules.
Yeah, switch it up, bro.
I was
Yeah,
like,
you
I
can
didn't
switch it up as much as you want.
Rules. Excuse me.
I'm busy erasing something, stealing that Zelina Vega.
How you spell
See, that's why I grabbed the pencil.
You can just write Vega.
I'm sure you're mad at me for it, but now you're
Hashtag
doing
Mexican hottie. All right. Oh, sorry, Puerto Rican hottie.
She's sexy as shit.
Joe.
All right, I got fucking nerds, and I got Poppy's son. I got Zelina Vega now. Thanks for that, Z. I got Lars Rachel Sullivan, and I got Nikki Cross because I think she's. That's why I picked Alexa to win it. I think she's gonna help Alexa, and that's why I picked yes to interference in that match.
Nikki.
Nikki wants to play.
But I'm normal now.
Did you see her video with her and Killian Dane on fucking Instagram? Jesus Christ. She had the motherfucker all tied up and shit.
Whoa.
Yes. I saw
I
that.
think I'm into it.
He said, I think I'm into it.
Insta porn.
Kyle, who you got?
Oh, shit. I got Bray, Braun, Dominic, Zelina, and Mrs. Dad.
All right.
I've got Dominic, Zelina, Mr. Miz, Big E, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, promos don't count, right? So Bray wouldn't technically
Yeah,
count.
'cause
if they just run a new Firefly thing.
that would
Bray
not
wouldn't
count. That's a
right?
pre-tape.
Yeah, 'cause
that's a
it's
pre-tape
Yep,
thing.
he would have to be in. He would be.
He'd have to like
live.
interfere in a
Yep.
match or something. Come out.
I have Dominic, Mr. Miz, Braun Strowman, Zelina Vega, and Lars Sullivan. Announced table destruction is next. Z, you're going to be kicking this off. Circle the table that you think is going to survive. Put an X over the table that you think will be destroyed. Z.
Oh, shit. I did that wrong.
English and Spanish are both gone, with the other being saved.
Okay. Joe.
Same. I got English and Spanish both going. Other staying.
All right. Kyle.
Same. English and Spanish are both going.
Same.
All right.
Damn, we've never had that before.
Yeah, but it makes a lot of sense.
And a
right?
Money in the
The
Bank match,
Spanglish
though?
table is gone.
Yeah, because
There's a cage match, and Shane's. It's
Shane's-
likely that all
tables are
three of
going.
these fucking tables are going.
There's gonna
Yeah,
be
but
yeah,
normally
I
it's
wanna
like
change mine.
I was about to
sometimes
say,
it's only
I-
two for the setup. So
There's a-
saving
there's
the
a
other
German-
is normally a smart bet.
the
There's
English.
a German one. Like, as far
Yeah,
as
I think
three,
it's middle is English, the Spanish is on the
going
left,
too.
and the.
One of
I'm
them's
going
gonna
up. I'm
be
going
disguised, or one of them's gonna be like a giant pillow disguised as a table for Shane to jump into.
Jump into.
Yeah, and the other two will get, people slammed on them and not break.
I'm going through all three.
You got all
English,
three being
English,
destroyed.
Spanish,
Yeah,
and
me
other.
too.
Kyle, you're switching it up. All right, Nick.
I just got the Spanish being destroyed. The other two will survive.
Oh.
Olay.
Spanish always
Big
goes.
balls over here. Jesus.
I'm also taking just English and Spanish being destroyed, and other is being
Captain Big Dick.
big dick Nick.
That's why he's got the power hand.
Please
small
don't cue
hand
the music,
backing up
Mikey. Don't cue the music,
Big
please.
dick, little hand.
Little hands make the dick look bigger.
You know what that equates to? Huge dick.
Huge fucking dick.
Whopper Juniors look bigger too.
You know what? I think we're gonna trade Kyle to you guys' show because I think he fits in better.
That's really how you drop some pounds, right? You just get a Whopper Junior and it looks bigger.
Yep.
So you,
You can't trade me off my own
Size
shit.
of that meat.
It's the wild card rule where you can just show up.
Although, that being said, I would
Yeah, that
have
means,
no
like,
problem coming in here if this is what
3 of you can come to our show next week, and like 4 of us will go to yours. But then 2. Wait, I'm getting.
Any one of us can show up at any
No, it
show.
says
In
little-
all reality,
all
it's
bets
really
are
only
off.
2 of us anyway.
I'm a genius.
Well, hold on. If 50% of our show comes to your show, on
Oh, he's doing
33%,
Steiner math.
It'll equal 10 people are coming to knock out.
So there's a 108% chance we just traded Smitty. That's what I've come up with.
Right, he's like, either way,
Smitty's gonna be banned.
either way, Smitty's the fuck out of here.
You don't show up, you get traded, Lars. I mean, Smitty.
We kicked him to Smith out.
No comment. Devin, you and I probably can't.
The thoughts and views of breaking down the ring, not necessarily those podcast Detroit.
Podcast Detroit might not give a fuck, but
No, they put
have a disclaimer.
yeah, I was saying they put that on
I
the
feel
very
like that
beginning
was
of our
because
show.
of Tony. But
On yours?
Yeah.
There's a disclaimer on everyone's.
Yeah.
I think they started that because of us.
Really?
Yeah, Tony.
Why? Oh, tell me this fucking story.
Yeah, we'll tell you plenty afterwards.
Why can't you tell me now?
Let's not.
It's good.
Breaking down the ring with the live exclusive.
Good content.
Oh, it wasn't exclusive. It's already all over the place.
It's already all over the place. We might as well tell them.
So
Yeah,
speak it.
So Marty Jannetty may or may not have gotten
Visit
underage female persuasion, and
Was he hanging out with Ellsworth?
and our co-host Tony Thunder, who you can see at BCWA this Saturday,
Cheap plug.
was essentially saying that when they go out of town, that 16 is consensual in some places on the air, and I'm like, oh shit.
It was something to the effect of like, if there's grass on the field, you can play ball.
Not roll him
Oh,
over.
you guys already have a Smitty. Got it.
But wait, then it's like if there's no grass, you can practice.
You know, don't you turn him over and play in the mud?
Yeah, if there's
playing
no
out.
grass on the field, turn 'em over playing the
Let's
mud.
just say it's one of those that it made us both go quiet for a minute.
I was
we were
like,
like, oh shit.
I would have ran with it.
Then like a week later, we heard the thoughts and views of these shows are not necessarily those of podcastdetroit.com.
That's why I still to this day say that was totally.
But we love Tony, man, because you never know what the fuck he's gonna say.
That's a good person to have on the show.
Yeah.
So Kyle, tell us where we can find you on social media.
You can find me at Detroit Knockout at Detroit NOKOUT, Facebook, Kyle Collison.
All right, Devin.
What's social media?
All of them. I want yours first, and then I'm going to ask
He's
you.
asking you what it is.
What is it?
Oh, it's that media where people talk on.
The
but
medias
there's
of
Like
social.
socially?
yes.
Oh, you socially mediafy. Okay, well, you can find me on Twitter at Devin63. That's DEVINTHE63. You can find me on Instagram at Allstate No Sizzle. That's one word. You can find me on Facebook at Devin McKenzie. I'll be the guy with the Kango hat on, like I always do.
Yeah. You're the Samuel L. Jackson of your show.
Getting it.
Or the Sami
Motherfucker.
Zayn. One of the two.
Whatever.
Follow
And
my motherfucking social media, motherfucker.
Samuel L. Zane.
Devin, give me all of the social media stuff for your show, your knockouts and 3 counts.
Well, the easiest way to do that is to go to ko3cpod.com. You will find everybody's social media on our show. And if you are into wrestling, join the Reality Era News group on Facebook. We talk wrestling. We're probably talking Bray Wyatt right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that.
Definitely.
But before we cut off, I actually do want to bring that up because that's the only thing that we didn't touch.
The
So
greatest segment in wrestling right now?
you think the Firefly Funhouse is the greatest segment in wrestling right now?
I don't watch Monday Night Raw, SmackDown right now, but I always watch that. I make sure I go on YouTube and watch that segment.
All right, Z, what did you think?
Jekyll Blatt.
You didn't like it?
I didn't. I liked the build. I liked everyone before it, but when he showed that mask, like I was just like, really, we're going this route, right?
Yeah, we will.
But like, is he? But like, is he gonna wrestle in the mask? Is he just gonna wear it? Is this like NXT where he used to wear like the Phantom of the Opera mask and then like took it off?
See,
when he
Nick
got to
gets
the-
it.
I don't
He
even
already
remember
joined
that.
the damn group.
But I mean, I think it's gonna be some like Eric Rowan always came out in that fucking sheep mask.
Yeah, but this reminds me of Abyss's. I forget what his actual.
It
name.
looks similar to Crazy Steve's gimmick too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Corporate Kane.
Sammy
Abyss,
Callahan's
when he-
group
yeah.
OVE they've got some similar type looks to that too.
It's
It's nothing original. I mean,
I didn't want this to turn into a match. I just wanted him to do these like shows like.
But I wanted them to prolong it. I want
Yeah,
them to do it
I
like
agree.
everything. Like, why not run it? And I know 6 months is a long time, but if you're only doing one a week, because you show the same one on Raw and SmackDown, so
Right.
it's not like you're progressing with each show. You do a 1 week spot, like even like building up to his return. And then you do it for like 6 months of this nice, happy-go-lucky character. Maybe not 6 months, but definitely a little bit longer.
I think I
than
said
you
up
did.
until, like,
and
SummerSlam.
then you have the big reveal, like, and you could almost do it live. Have
Yeah.
him come out and be like, "Oh yeah, I've learned to channel it. So 1 week I'm this person, but the next week I'm that person." Like, it's definitely like some bipolar disorder
I
kind of
wanted
gimmick going
more
on.
words of the day, like social.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
Narcissist.
no,
yeah,
it wouldn't be bipolar. It'd be,
Right,
it'd be more
of
like
a
a
build
double
to the
personality
turn. So,
type
like,
thing.
But then he's like, "Oh, I have a secret to reveal," and then he comes out with this mask and everything. Like, okay, cool. Like, you've evolved your character by putting a mask on it. Is the way I look at it now. we'll see what happens going forward.
Right.
But right now, it's kind of like a drawback for me because I was like looking forward to like, okay, sell me on this Mr. Rogers gimmick, but you do something every week to where like, hey guys, I'm still not all up here.
Yeah, like I think I said it on one of the 11:05 lives that I do at 11:05 every Monday through Friday on our Facebook page. I think I said it. I want them to take it at least until maybe right before SummerSlam at the very least.
Okay.
Build it.
Yep.
And just keep doing it, and people are gonna is this ever gonna turn into a match?
So, if you're gonna do it before SummerSlam, start building it before WrestleMania. Like they did the vignettes, they did the puppet thing, and then they introduced the witch, and they did they actually did like a slower build of that,
right,
than they are of this actual like Firefly Funhouse, which is dumb to me only because. Right now, with as shitty as ratings have been, you said it yourself. Like, I don't watch Raw or SmackDown. I watch for this.
Right.
And me too. But now it's like, all right, they've kind of already blew their wad, so to say.
Yeah, because
so now what? Now you have to have him return.
Right.
I agree.
He's going to be in a match at the Money in
They
the
totally
Bank.
blew their wad with that. Like, they could have strung out the Mr. Rogers thing much longer and done a longer build and a better payoff to this character.
Yeah, especially like more of him being good before he turns bad. So
Right.
then when he goes back to being bad, you're like, oh, damn it. Like, I mean,
Because really, it's only going to be like
you
4
knew
episodes.
it was going to happen, but the way they just pushed it along,
For Game of Thrones fans and
I was just
and
gonna say
spoiler
that.
alert, it's
Just
kind of like
gonna
the
say
Night
that.
King getting killed in like episode 3 and just like one up and gone. It's like the whole fucking series is built up to this point and then boom,
Rushed.
gone.
See, I don't think the whole series built up to that point. The reason it's called Game of Thrones is it's all because who's going to sit on the throne.
Yeah, but we were conditioned to believe that that was all bullshit and the real war was against the White Walkers.
I mean,
And now it's where all of a sudden we're supposed to go back to, oh, okay, it really is about the Iron Throne.
You tell me I'm never going to see Khaleesi naked again? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Just go watch the first season again.
I was going to say, just rewatch it.
Still.
I have no idea what you people are talking about.
unfortunately,
mean, you
I
people?
don't either.
You know what I mean.
One of those.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing that they kind of showed their hand to a point because I could also see them.
But they showed their whole hand.
Yeah, they
Like,
blew
they've literally laid
They
down the
blew their
cards.
load too quick, I think.
See, but I could also see them coming back next week and be like, "Sorry for last week, kids," or whatever. Some sort of Mr. Rogers-ish
But
twist.
If they stop
But my
showing
point
the
is,
sets,
they already
then it's a
you
problem.
already know what he's going to transform into. They've already showed it. Like if you did a slow build, like you did the cutaways, and then he.
But do you?
Then
It's
he,
like
then
a-
before
it's like
they
a-
show
No,
the.
I agree with that. But do you think it hurts it if they played it like? I want to use Saw as the example,
you're-
but like, what if you where like he's fighting back and forth between trying to do the quote unquote good thing with the Firefly House, and then there's the hurting.
But,
yeah, you
but
know
the
what I'm
whole
saying? Like,
point
if
of the
you
build is to see, like, I mean, at least for me, like, okay, this Mr. Rogers gimmick isn't going to stick. Like, what is he going to transform into at the
Yeah,
evolution
they gave
of
it to
this
us
thing?
way too quick.
So now I know. So now I don't give a fuck about the rest of the story.
And if what you're saying, they go back to that, that's like, there's this chick that you're into, and like each week you're getting a little farther and a little farther, and
And then you saw her without makeup.
You saw her.
You can't
no,
go back. For
no,
it.
no. You saw. Then you like quicker than you expected. Like you saw her naked or whatever. But then the next time you see her, she's like, "Oh no, I'm not. I'm putting my clothes back on. I'm not taking them off." But you're like,
Well, you could always talk to
but
your
I mean,
buddy Lars about this.
I
He's
just
got
hope-
some really gray areas.
I just hope the WWE runs with the whole, whatever they're gonna call that or whatever part of his persona that is. Please just run with it.
I mean,
It's
they,
subconscious
yeah,
according to
they,
everything
they,
I heard.
liked.
they did a great job of that with Broken Woken Matt. They sure did.
I can't.
They
argue.
really ran with that one.
And that was the other thing. Like I was
I
like,
didn't
all
say they
right,
would.
Jeff's
I said
hurt.
I hope
So
they-
like, is this person that's talking to him in the glove or like getting in his head? Is that Matt because he deleted him? I don't know. In the final deletion. So Matt's been pulling the strings.
I don't know,
is it bad
but
that I
Mercy the Buzzard coming out of a shipping box would be something like Jim Henson might be proud of.
Right.
But is it bad that I don't want to see Bray in the ring?
No, it's not because he's not that great, really.
I think Bray gets a
For
lot
a big man, I think
think
he's
he's
very
pretty damn good.
athletic and
He's not
agile
even
and-
that big. He's like
for a round man.
he's
Yeah, that's what I
he's
meant.
stout.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wanted this to be almost like a non-wrestling thing. Like, if it just kept going and it just kept
Yeah,
progressively
like
getting
Miz
creepier
TV
and
or Moment of Bliss, you have the Firefly Funhouse. But the best was the ingenious part of it was the very first time they did it, they made it like they cut to commercial. And I was literally getting off my couch and I was like, oh, what's this? And then I see Bray Wyatt on the TV and I instantly sit my ass back down and go, oh, this isn't a commercial, but they portrayed it as if it was a commercial.
Right.
So then they should have ran with that a little bit longer. But now they're like, oh, the hottest thing on WWE. Here it is. I don't know.
The thing that I liked the most about it was it progressively got creepier, but I think they went too quick with it.
I agree.
I agree. Slow creep.
Way too quick.
Down.
Way too quick.
Slow it down a little bit.
But that's like everything I say about WWE. Feuds, storylines, everything. Like slow it
they
down a
don't.
little bit.
I think they underestimate like fans' intelligence and fans' attention spans for longer storylines. They think that fans are just like only going to accept like immediate payoffs. Which
Nick, what
is
are
not
you?
true.
What are your thoughts about this?
I do think it felt rushed. I think they could have even went as far as somebody mentioned taking it through SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be. It didn't have to be every week. Like maybe have a Firefly Funhouse 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then skip 2 weeks, and then bring it back. To kind of
actually that's genius because then you could be like, oh well, I was in a dark place for 2 weeks, but I'm back.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they have the confidence in the fans' attention spans to like keep tuned into something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think this is rushed at all.
You don't?
No, I don't. I think that this is just an evolution of what's going on. I don't think that you're going to get Bray Wyatt in the ring within the next couple weeks.
I don't either.
I think.
I hope you're right.
I think what this is just like it's just a character that has evolved for it. Like even on Twitter, like he's going back and forth to all these people that he fucked with and did wrestling promos with and stuff
Randy
like the
Orton
Shield, Randy Orton, and then and he said, "Hey, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, if you need it because Dean's gone, if you need a third member of the Shield, I hope you forgive me for all the things that I did. I'll gladly join."
P.S. John Moxley, I missed you.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I saw that
So
one.
my thought process on this is he's like a terror now, right? Like this is like this is his secret, and his secret coming out is showing this, and it's very possible, like you said, Kyle, they're gonna go back to it. And then he's
That's
gonna
why
wrestle with this, but the other side of him is gonna fuck with people and terrorize people, and there's the normal side that's like, because he constantly says, I still have all these dark thoughts up here, I'm trying to get rid of,
What was the Abyss gimmick that like literally they're ripping off? Like it was Abyss the monster, and then he would come out with the ponytail.
he was like a lawyer-ish type guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Joseph
but
Park.
then he'd lose his temper and he'd come out as Abyss.
Well, here's the reason why I agree. I'm on the same thought path
Corporate
with Mikey
Kane.
with this one,
Yeah.
only because, as he said, he's playing back and forth with it on Twitter, and I think by showing the hand at least a little bit, showing kind of what you're gonna get,
All these
and then if
hand
you
jokes, though.
and then if you
Jesus
have him
Christ.
go back, like I don't know, I don't think it was rushed. I mean, as long as they don't put him in the ring right away.
As long as there's still more vignettes like this continue.
But we just
continues
talked about
going,
this on our show
I'm cool with
yesterday,
it.
Devin. I mean, think about it. You just said it. With all the vignettes that you're seeing, I mean, it's kind of got Bruce Pritchard all over it. So.
And what are you building up here? Like Bray and Lars Sullivan, or Bray and Strowman?
but that's the thing, you don't know, and you're not supposed to know.
Right,
right
that's-
now.
we don't know.
And you can
but-
speculate all you want, and that's quote to your point where everyone's saying it's too quick. You still don't know what this is doing, so it can't be too quick when there's not an abrupt end to it.
I
you're
should have
saying
said
the
I
reveal.
feel like it's too quick. I have to see what they do. going
Right, and
forward.
that's my
that's
thought process.
fair.
But
and this
I
can
feel
happen.
like Bray's going to show up on Monday Night Raw next week, and if that's the case, then it's too quick. But let's see.
Depends on how he shows up. If he shows up and it's just some sort of terrorizing thing, like he's fucking with people, I'm all right with that.
No, I still
I
feel
think it's gonna turn into a
still
match.
feel it's too quick
No.
to reveal the dark side of his character. They should have kept the Mr. Rogers side of it going longer.
and
before
did like
showing
those little cutaways.
I mean, they
do
did
with,
the
like,
cutaway
doll-
with
yeah.
the hurt whatever gloves. We get it. They didn't have to go full, twisted steel yet.
Twist of metal.
whatever. I don't play video
Can we
games.
get the creepy kid singing? I got the whole world in my hands.
All right,
You
we're
never
gonna-
go full twisted metal.
We never go full raptard.
You never go full Braytard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this show real quick. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching. If you guys are watching live 100%, you could check us out on the Apple Podcast. You can listen every week once it's posted up. Give us 5 stars. Subscribe to that. If you are listening on the podcast every Wednesday, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can watch live on Twitter at BDRcast. Follow us on all of our social media at BDRcast. YouTube, Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
Nick the Dick.
Smitty.
Whole fucking Joe.
Me, the almighty one, and for Kyle and Devin from the Knockouts and 3 Counts podcast, thank you so much for coming in.
Bye,
And
Kyle.
we will talk to you later. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out.
Peace.
Fuck your couch.
So Smitty didn't make it at all.